It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
All right, welcome back aboard. Rothman and Ice, good to have you. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, Rudy Rudiger at the switches today. Going full Clover today. Celts, Irish, the whole deal. Good to see you, boys.
It's great to see you, man. Yeah, Bodie's feeling good. Bodie's like, can we get on with the finals? I mean, the finals doesn't start until next Thursday.
Let's just start tonight. Game 1, we'll see in Boston.
You don't want the rest versus rust? You're a don't rest too long guy?
Yeah, I'll take the rest, honestly, because one, Porzingis is the biggest thing. And 2 years ago, when they made the finals against Golden State, excuse me, I'm battling a little bit of a cold over here. We're going like 6-7 days here. But I think they kind of ran out of gas. Boston did against Golden State 2 years ago. Just a little bit. I'm using it as an excuse, but I think they ran out of gas a little bit, so I'll take the rest.
Okay, they can fuel up the tank is what you're saying over the next week. No, I'm feeling good, AR, and I got some great news for you, and I know this was the news that you could not wait for because I'm here to tell you that
I'm off tomorrow?
No, you're not off tomorrow. We've had plenty of off time here recently. Well, Monday we were out of here. You know, by the way, I'm still mentally all jacked up with the week. Like today is like Wednesday in my mind. Somehow, some way, but it actually
feels
is
like Friday.
It is Thursday. We'll get you there tomorrow. We'll get you there tomorrow. But I know you're excited because today is a Gold Jacket Thursday.
It is.
It's a Gold Jacket Thursday, but I'm here to tell you that football season is close. Football season is close, and here's why. Before I came in the studio, I saw on the TV that Big Brother is going to start on July 17th. And you know, when we get to that date, my friend, I tell you this every year, football season has arrived. So you better enjoy this last month and a half of summer because football is right around the corner. July 17th, the first episode of Big Brother is going to air. I can't wait.
Let me ask you this. Did we count the days wrong? Because I think yesterday we had it. Was it yesterday we had it at 100?
I think that was. No, I think that was
okay, because I saw today it was like 97 now. So I don't know. I think we may have.
Well, everybody, it was all over TV. It was all over.
Okay. Well, I was just going to leave it to our show to actually have, when we're like 101 days away to already be fast forwarded.
Yeah, that's not our strong suit on this show. But I know you couldn't wait for that news, and I know
Big Brother,
that summer is winding down for you.
How is it winding down?
Because Big Brother's around the corner.
We don't dry out. Literally and figuratively till June, in my mind. All right. So summer is going to start for me this Saturday. That's June 1st.
This Saturday is the kickoff.
That's it.
My dad's birthday, by the way.
Perfect.
Shout out to Trent. Love you, big dog.
That's awesome.
He's probably not listening.
Saturday the 1st is the celebration day, his birthday and the beginning of summer.
Fair enough.
We don't get enough in this climate. Let us please enjoy it. We can talk football, but let's not, right?
You know I'm just trying to rush it here. You know that's what I like to do.
Matty, as the old Sheriff Buford T. Justice once said, you can think about it, but don't do it. All right.
So I just wanted to start
nice on our radio show.
I just wanted to start the show with that. I know you love when I rush the summer to get the football season. I just wanted to show I did see the first commercial for Big Brother today. So I left our listeners in the dark at the end of the show yesterday because you wanted to reveal who was going to be our Gold Jacket Thursday guest. And I said, you know what? Let's hit him with a long tease this week.
Listen, we went, I don't know if people will know this man. And, some of these guys that are Hall of Famers, for people here may not know, but Jimbo Covert was as big as anybody in Chicago when I was there, and the Bears, that team of 85 and all that. He was an All-American lineman. He went to Pitt. So he grew up in a small little Pennsylvania town and got recruited by Penn State and Paterno, and I'm sure Woody Hayes probably got, that was late in Woody's time, late 70s, but I would think that everybody wanted him. And the interesting thing about Jimbo Covert is that he came out of that draft in 83. You think about the draft of 83, not only did it include his college teammate at Pitt, Dan Marino, but it also then included his future pro teammate in Richard Dent on the end of that defensive line. I think Dent was like a way late. I mean, Marino obviously was up there, but in the first round, but Dent wasn't. But I find it interesting, and I'll have to go back and look. I believe that 8 Hall of Famers came out of that 83 draft.
That's incredible.
But the cool part is including his two teammates, one in college and one in pro. And then he became one, obviously.
I think he was around Mark May, too. I know Buckeye fans love Mark May at Pitt. You know, that's one of Buckeye fans' favorite guys in the history of college football analysts, right?
Yeah. When you think about the guys that he got to play with, Marino, the 85 Bears, Peyton, the Fridge, played for Ditka, Jimmy Mack, all the guys. I mean, it's a who's who. But in the 80s, the Cubs were good in 80. Well, let me start again. The Sox were good in 83. The Cubs were good in 84. And the Bulls draft Jordan in that same year, and the Bears win the Super Bowl in 85. So they were still the kings of the world. Like, nothing in Chicago had really happened sports-wise, from baseball to basketball, until the Bears won it in 85. And then they had that crown in Chicago all the way up until what? The Bulls in the 90s, in the early 90s.
Before the three-peat, right?
Yeah,
before the three-peat. Yeah, it'll be cool to talk to him.
Yeah.
You mentioned the greatness that he was around, both coaches and players in college, too. I believe he was coached by Joe Moore, his offensive line coach. And if you're, a college football fan, at Pitt, you may have heard of the Joe Moore Award that goes to the best offensive line unit in the country. So it'll be interesting to pick his brain on that and how he helped him, and obviously a lot more of that stuff. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying these Gold Jacket Thursdays. It's really cool, especially for me that didn't see a lot of these. I'm sure a lot of people didn't even see these guys or may not even remember them, but to tap into the minds of some of the all-time greats has been really cool. So I can't wait to chop it up with him later today.
It's interesting because what I do know about his story, and this happens to probably a lot of college football players, they go to a place and they want to pigeonhole you into a different position. And he was a defensive lineman I'm trying to think. He defensive lineman early on in his career at Pitt.
Okay.
And then he flip-flopped to the O-line. I guarantee that at the time he probably wasn't embracing it or loving it. Maybe it was by need. Maybe they saw something there. Maybe they had enough on the D-line. And it happens a lot. It happens in college. And now to think about it, I'm sure he thinks about it, that may have been the greatest nudge that he ever got, was to become a Hall of Fame left tackle after starting on the defensive line. Because I do remember a story of Jim Kelly, I think, got recruited and they wanted to make him a safety, I believe. Ooh. And then obviously he became a great quarterback. But we will talk to the Pitt man at 2:33. Earlier than that, we'll have Pete Fiutak on. He's the publisher of collegefootballnews.com. 12:33. Maybe I'll throw him the question that I threw at Ari Wasserman, and he stopped me in my tracks on the what kind of percentage do you leave the balance? So the balance of what I said yesterday was you're expanding the amount of teams that'll get in. So what you're doing is in college football, you're protecting against leaving a undefeated Florida State team out or leaving an undefeated Liberty team out. You're protecting against that. So there'll never be an undefeated team that won't make it anymore. Right? Even if they didn't play the schedule.
Right.
So I think, in my mind, that's the insurance policy you're getting, is there won't be that major controversy on that side. But by expanding giving 8 more teams an at-bat at this, you can't tell me that one of those bottom 8 aren't going to win a title, right? You cannot say it. He stopped me in my tracks on that it'll always be one of the top 4. I am telling you, let me ask you this. How many years of the 12-team playoff will we have to go where you feel like a 5 through 12 will be the champ?
I am going to say
2 years?
No, I was going to go 3 or 4.
So you take the over on 2.5.
I'm still going to lean with the heavy favorites.
Because of the bye,
it's just
the home game.
Not only that, and just the way that they recruit.
Okay.
Like, you're still going to have the high-end talent within your 4 walls, Bama, Georgia, Ohio State. It's going to take a lot to knock them off. And then you're talking about attrition on the other side of that for the teams that are going to have to play those extra games. And can you not only win those games, but get through those games healthy? And if you do, are you going to have enough firepower to clip off some of the big dogs? It's fascinating where we are. But I just think
I'm trying to get you excited about the project.
You know what? I'm not that excited about the 12-team playoff
for you to consider.
Because I just hate what it's done to the regular season, not only for us fans, but for the players as well. And kind of this just kind of easygoing vibe that I think we're going to have. And I'm just going to miss the bite that some of the games used to have. I'm definitely going to miss the urgency. But when we get into it, I'm sure the juices will start flowing, and some of these home venues will be popping off, and that's going to be fun. But I'm going to go 3 years to go back to your question, and it's probably going to be longer than that.
So let me ask you this. Let's go back to last year for a quick second. It's hard for us to think about this, but do you believe that if a one-loss Georgia team or a one-loss Ohio State team, which would have probably been a 6 and 7 seed, that one of them couldn't knock off Michigan, Washington, Texas,
well, that's
or Bama?
what I'm saying. Like those are the brands I'm talking about. Like those teams are kind of the. I think
all I'm saying
me,
is seeding wise.
I think
5 through 8.
Because my mind, when I think 5 through
12.
8 or 5 through 12, you're talking about some of the teams that were 2 or 3 losses, like Arizona last year. Like that to me, like if Ohio State or let's say a Georgia somehow, some way stumbles down to a 6 or 7, we know that's not like a true 6 or 7 seed because of what they have on the coaching staff and what they have in the locker room. Like I think maybe when you gotta have to throw some more Cinderella-ish teams at me.
I'm not and I'm not really talking true Cinderella. I'm not talking Liberty or UCF or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm asking, this is the question I'm asking. How long will it take for a 5 to 12 seed to win it all?
I'll give you an example. Last year, you could talk me into LSU.
How about Oregon? They lost to Washington by what? 2 times by 3 points?
LSU, that was a 3-loss team. With the firepower that they had, it would take a team like that with that type of juice for me to think that they could clip one of the big dogs around college football. But you're talking 3 first-round draft picks and the Heisman Trophy winner on one offense.
Well, look what you just did there. You got a 3-loss SEC team into the tourney.
But I don't know how that's going to be the year in and year out type of thing we get. But who knows?
Well, they'll claim based on schedule, because we talked about this. Will you get a 3-loss team into this thing at 12? It depends how it falls. I would say last year we wouldn't have, but I think people would have argued for LSU based on what they did.
Yeah, they're always going to show up to the SEC.
Yeah, but I'm also not going to play the game where it's just SEC. I'd have to go in their schedule and see. We're going to then get to the back end of the controversy. The back end of the controversy is the deserving at bat, right? Like we've had that in the 4 or 5 slot, but we've never had it in 12 and 13 or 11, 12 and 13 and 14.
And see,
now we will.
Going back to last year's rankings, like the teams that had 3 losses, like Arizona, Penn State, Notre Dame, and LSU to me was clearly a more talented team than the others. The other 3 teams that I mentioned wouldn't be as much of a threat to go on and advance in the tournament, in my opinion. If we did the 12-team format last year and we were picking between some of those 3-loss teams, that was the team that would scare me the most.
But you're talking 3 losses after their bowl game. Those teams had 2. Penn State had 2 losses.
I'm just talking about the talent, though. I'm not even talking about, like, the record to me is kind of just the kind of entering point of the conversation. Like, I'm just talking about if we were debating between those 4 teams and who scared me the most as a 2 or 3 loss team, it would be no doubt LSU. And those were the teams I would have to see that.
Not Oregon.
Not as much as LSU for me, but they were really good. But I think LSU had more power.
Because Oregon lost 2 times to the team that made the championship, and they lost to them twice in shootouts by 3 points each, both times.
I know, but I have the Heisman Trophy winner, Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas for LSU.
I think I got Maddie to like the expansion.
No, I still don't like it. I still don't
for
like
a heartbeat, right?
Regular season sucks now.
All right. Well, all I'm saying is
you love this thing.
No, I don't. You do love it. I understand what you're saying. We are definitely watering down the regular season. There's no reason to deny that. We are. The urgency, the one and done feeling, the elimination game feeling of all that. Could Ohio State play Michigan 3 times and all that? Yeah. Okay, yes, that's going to take a lot of getting used to for everybody. But what do we love? We love brackets. We love tourneys. We love one and dones. We love upsets. I love them more than you do.
I just don't know if we're going to have. I don't know if we're going to have that many. I think that's what's getting you excited is upsets, and I don't think we're going to have.
No,
that many.
And I'm not looking for the whole thing to be littered with upsets. Yeah. All I'm saying is to you, I do believe it won't be long till a team outside the top 4 actually wins the championship.
How many years? I picked 3.
Well, I said 2.
Okay.
I don't. But you're right. It's those top 4 are going to be sitting in the catbird seat, waiting for people and all that. Yeah. And then you're going to add the home situations. So you're right. But you're still. My point is, you're still playing for something. Yes, I know it's not a total elimination game, but you are still playing for important and seeding. Yeah. It's not exactly the NCAA. It's not actually the regular season of NCAA basketball, where you're just playing for seeding. It's got a little more bite to it than that.
I guess.
We live
kind of like an old
in,
person with a couple teeth left. Just a little bit of a bite there.
Yeah.
Not
Which
much
ones?
bite.
Fronts? Like the molars? What are we doing?
The molars.
What would you rather have? All right. We will come back. Ryan Day on how this roster was built. Interesting stuff. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Take action with Logan Services. Call now for savings up to $2,700 on a qualifying train system and 0% APR financing for 72 months. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Schedule your free same-day estimate now. Installation takes just 1 day. We make home comfort easy with fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
This offer is only available at Reichert Ford. 0% financing for 72 months on every 2023 Ford F-150 in stock. Take advantage of Reichert's rate before it's too late. Lock in your 0% rate and take a new truck home today. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Exclusively at Reichert Ford. 0% for 72 months is now available on every new 23 F-150 in stock. Hundreds of trucks at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite Fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Hi, this is Bob Capacci. Worthington Jewelers has done it again. Come see our new collection of Glock watches at Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
Save up to $150 on select sets of 4 Vredestein tires at AAA Car Care Plus. Not a member? Not a problem. Everyone can save up to $150 on Vredestein tires through May 31st at AAA Car Care Plus locations. See store for details.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wasteful Washington spending is driving up the price of everything in Ohio. Groceries, gas, housing. Senator Sherrod Brown has backed President Biden's agenda 97% of the time, including voting to allow spending tax dollars on illegal immigrants. Senator Brown voted to allow $500 million in COVID checks for illegals. And Brown voted in favor of taxpayer-funded health care for illegals granted amnesty, while some American citizens can't afford to see a doctor. Brown even voted with Biden to give illegal immigrants Social Security benefits for work done illegally. Call Senator Brown at 216-522-7272 and tell him to support S3578, the Protect Medicaid Act, and vote against reckless, out-of-control Washington spending on illegal immigrants. Ohio families need cheaper gas, food, and housing, not handouts to illegal immigrants who haven't played by the rules. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
Fan weather.
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking a few fair weather clouds out there today. Otherwise, wall-to-wall sunshine. The high temperature today is up around 70. Tonight, though, it'll be chilly. Lows around 47. If you are out late tonight, you might want a light sweater or jacket. Tomorrow, look for sunny skies with a high around 75. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Rubshod on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, we'll throw all those little playoff expansion questions at our guy Pete Fiutak at 12:33. From my understanding, simplifying this, the 4 highest-ranked conference champs by the committee will earn those top 4 seeds. They get the first-round bye. That's big. You want to try to play for that. Then you take the other 8, and they'll play in the first round, and the higher seeds will host the lower seeds, right?
Let me
5
read
versus
you this.
12.
You're correct, my friend. You are correct. Let me read you this from NCAA.com. This is as official as it can get. The 4 highest-ranked conference champions will be seeded numbers 1 through 4 and receive a first-round bye. Seeds 5 through 12 will play each other in the first round. The higher-seeded teams will play host in their first-round game. So 5 versus 12, 6 versus 11, 7 versus 10, and 8 versus 9.
The only question I have, and this is the bigger question, is if number 12 beats number 5, does number 4 automatically play the winner of that? So 4 would play 5?
I don't know.
If they like,
or 12, would 12 play 1?
Would 12 go to right?
Yeah, I saw this not too long ago, actually. They do not reseed it.
Correct.
That's
so
what we were talking. Okay.
Yeah, 4 plays the winner of 5-12.
Yes.
No matter what.
That was my question
that
during
makes
the
it
break.
kind of
What
funky.
happens after the first games? Are we reseeding these things? But we're not.
No.
Okay.
So because that was my thought was, well, if 12 upsets 5, you're not going to throw... You should the higher seed should benefit playing the upset team. Yeah. But it sounds to me, if this is correct, and I think it is, and we'll ask Pete, that if Ohio State is the number 1 seed this year, number 1 seed by the committee, they get the bye. They sit back for that first round and watch 8 play 9, and whoever wins that game, that's who Ohio State would host.
They're coming to the shoe.
Yeah,
they're coming to the shoe. All right, nice little refresher. You know, this is new to everybody. This is new to everybody, and I'm still not excited.
I think you sound a little more excited about the project right now. You're right. You feel. I feel like you're a little more into it now. Because when you're not into it, you're like, I don't want to talk about this.
No, because I have to talk about it. But it's just like, we won't. I don't want to leave you hanging.
But we'll have Pete on at 12:33, and we'll get his feeling on that. I don't know. You know what? It's interesting because I don't really know how I feel about that. I figured. You know, if 12 beats 5, then 1 should probably get to play the lower 12. Right. It might reseed like that. But so you're locked in. So 1's playing 8-9 winner, 2 is playing 10-7 winner. And so it is truly an NCAA bracket.
Yeah.
If it gets busted, then great. If it doesn't, that's who you're playing and all that. All right. Because 4 would really benefit then if 12 beats 5. I think I'd be loving that.
I think I've used all my brain power for today.
You're out?
We're only a half hour in.
Let's talk about Ryan Day in this roster because we do believe they'll be playing for a 1 seed. And if not, then they'll be playing for a 2 seed. They'll be playing for a bye is our point. Ryan Day was on the podcast. Now, there's been a narrative, and I don't think it's completely false, but we've talked about there's a lot in this pot. Not everyone on this roster comes back to get paid. And not everyone on the roster comes back just because they want to win a title. I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. But sometimes you can have it all or feel like you have it all or make that best decision based on what's being put to you. And Ryan Day was on the podcast. I do believe our guy Austin Ward was on this. And was Carp on this as well?
I believe so, yeah. Yep. Him and Jeremy Birmingham was the other one.
All right, outstanding roundtable. And Ryan Day talked about this narrative of purchasing a championship roster.
It's whatever you give attention to. I mean, that's not true. We brought in 6 guys. So, I mean, like in the off, in January, and they were all to fit holes. So, if that's the game, we're going to play it, and we're going to be aggressive. And the guys on the team are the ones that embraced it. I talked to Trayvon Henderson before we brought in Quinshon Judkins. I talked to the guys on the team about, bringing these pieces in, and they all wanted that. I think that's what is great about Ohio State. And during the recruiting process, I look these recruits in the eye and say, Ohio State's not for everybody. Like, if you're afraid to walk into a room with 4 other 5 stars like Marvin Harrison did, then don't come here. Like, it's just, you have to want to be great here. You don't have to be around like dogs every single day. And you want to be the best in the world at what you do, whether you're a player or you're a coach. And you can't worry about what other people say. And that's kind of like a small town mentality, or a small minded mentality, like where, you're worried about all these different things, or, guys, like JT Tuimoloau didn't worry about like staying close to home, or Jeremiah Smith didn't worry about staying close to home, or Garrett Wilson didn't worry about staying close to home, or Donovan Jackson. These guys thought big. And the big was like, hey, let's go to the best place in America that's going to develop me, the place that's, the hardest to get on the field. But when I do, there's no limit to what you can have. And that's just the way it's going to be at Ohio State. And, C.J. Stroud said, pressure's a privilege. And if you're not willing to embrace that and understand what comes with that, like, this isn't the right place for you. But this is the right place for those guys, and they're here for a reason. And, we're excited about this June because they got a good look in their eye right now.
I think that's a big part of it. I do. I think that what he's saying is real. That competitive nature, wanting to play for the best, be the best. It's actually kind of an old school feeling, right? That they're still coming here for the purity of what it always has been, which is the platform, the competition, the chance to compete against the best, the chance to go to the NFL, maybe do this for a living. I don't know what percentage of guys that come into Ohio State think they can do it for a living. That'd be a good little case study. Probably get Karp's opinion on that. He talks to a lot of people on the percentage of guys that get recruited, offered a scholarship, that actually truly believe 100%, if I do well here, or my goal is I think I can be a pro.
I think it'd be pretty high because I think, just to tap into maybe some of these guys' minds, which I know is difficult to do, you got to think like these guys have been the guy coming out of high school. Their entire careers. And when you look at what Ohio State has done, pushing guys to the NFL, there's probably a decent amount of confidence that you can go on to the league. And I think one thing that we just heard from Coach Day right there, where he talked about, the transfer portals and pushing back a little bit on kind of buying a roster this offseason, is they did address some holes. And I think when you look at the quarterback room, I don't think that Coach Day would have felt great coming into the year with Devin as the veteran, and I'm just saying this because of Devin's availability, right? Not the talent, but Devin hasn't been able to have a clean season over the last couple of years. Same thing in that running back room. You lose some depth this offseason. Trayvon's had his issues with staying healthy all the time. So you did address some needs there, but there's no question that, they emptied the financial clip just a little bit to try to push this thing forward a little, but you have to, and that's the game you have to play now, because if you don't, at a program like Ohio State, you could get left behind pretty quickly.
Every coach wants to balance, and that's why even I gave Brian Kelly that day, because I think I needed a play publicist for him. I don't think he meant to say we're not interested in paying anybody. He just wanted the headline to be, we still want to develop them. We still want to make them who we think they can be. Ryan Day 2 years ago admitted publicly that he needed $13 million to keep his roster.
Got to do it.
So that's not all completely 100%. Well, they're all just coming here because they want competition. Or they're all staying here because they want competition.
No, it's a little bit of everything.
It absolutely is.
It's a little bit of everything.
That's all.
And especially for a guy like Will Howard that has an opportunity to go from a program like Kansas State to Ohio State with the eyeballs that are on this program and the coaches that come in and out of practices and everything, you absolutely make that move all day and tomorrow.
First of all, no coach wants it to be thought of as that their championship was bought and paid for. It makes it believe that it's already done, which it isn't.
And that's the careful part. I'll say this. I don't think Florida State would have cared if they won the Natty last year with all the guys that they brought in through the transfer portal that I'm sure that they paid a bunch of money to.
No, and
I don't think they would have cared.
Ohio State fan, right?
But a lot of the guys that are could help win a championship this year have been here for a while. Last year's Florida State team, bunch of new faces.
Yeah. All right, Pete Fiutak up next, publisher of collegefootballnews.com. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
There's a little slice of heaven in a country road's escape. Pure perfection in the form of uncrowded nature. Over 1.5 million acres of parks and public lands. From mountain biking to stargazing. Churning white water to quiet trout streams far off the grid. Almost heaven is down to earth in West Virginia. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
So, Wilson, you're running a window deal.
Yep. Buy one window, get two free. Or 5 or 10. It's all the same.
Oh.
Well, it's not real, but it sounds good to the buyer, so...
That does not sound good.
Oh, it is not. What's your deal?
So we have 5 different window lines so that all budgets can afford Pella without an unreal deal.
Lame.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Join us for gambling things, fantasy sports, gambling things, and most importantly, gambling things. Hollywood Casinos on the Money, Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
The Fan.
Is it time to replace your heating and cooling system? Do you have frequent repairs, increased energy bills, or uneven hot and cool spots in your home? It may be time for an upgrade. Custom Air's Comfort Consultants will give you a free assessment and guide you through replacement options. Take control of your comfort and peace of mind today. Go to customairco.com or call us at 614-552-HVAC to schedule your complimentary consultation with one of our experts. Custom Solutions, Custom Comfort, Custom Air.
New 2024, up to 72 months Aria, up to 36 months Rogue, and 6324.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But that's not all. Reichert Nissan also has 0% financing on Rogue 2. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at Lowe's.com/credit for details.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Both of these guys wear baseball hats every day, and it's because their hair is sewn into them. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it with our friend Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. He's the publisher, and he's with us now on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Pete, good to have you back.
Gentlemen, what's going on?
Do you forget about the playoff on whether you like it or not. Do you like the format? Because we were kind of going over it again with the seeding and the top 4 highest ranked conference champs, presumably by the committee, will get the top 4 seeds and get the bye. But I was curious if you liked the bracket part of it, which is 12 plays 5, 9 plays 8, and so forth. But nothing changes. They don't reseed it. So if Ohio State is number 1, they're locked in to play the winner of 9-8. They wouldn't all of a sudden get 12 if 12 upsets 5. You good with all that?
Basically, put everything you just said on a loop, and that's what I was about to say. I love about 98% of it. I actually love the format. It is so much fun because, look, you're going to have schools now that are going to have a vested interest from pillar to post. If you're Missouri, you're in the college football playoff last year, an expanded version. And so if you're in a place like that, Missouri's never going to win the SEC championship ever, but they've got the right schedule. They don't play all the good teams. They're going to have pretty much everyone coming back. And they can go 10-2, and that's the magical mark. If you look at the history, I know last year Penn State would have been, maybe missed it, but for the most part, if you go 10-2 in one of these Power 4 conferences, you're going to almost certainly find your way in this. 9-3 gets really iffy really fast. So it's just going to make it that much bigger for so many more fan bases because now that you don't have divisions, Purdue and Iowa and Mississippi State and those schools are never, ever going to touch a conference championship ever, which in the format means, what are you playing for? Just a T-shirt and a bowl game? Okay. Now you know that if you can have a really good season and go 10-2, you might be in this thing. The problem is exactly what you said. The reseed isn't fair because God forbid Memphis, takes out number 5 Notre Dame or something in the first round of the playoff. You actually have no advantage to being the 1 seed. You don't get a home playoff game like the first round teams do, and you actually get the higher seed where if you're the 3 or 4, you might get a better seeded team. So there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to reseed this. It's not like the NCAA tournament where you've got teams there, and logistically you can't. If you have a big upset, you're not going to move a team location wise. For the most part, it's like the first or second and third or fourth round. So I get it for the NCAA tournament, but for this, there's absolutely no point to not reseed this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, Anthony asked me a very interesting question, in one of our previous segments about the new expanded playoff and how many years I thought it would take for one of the teams that's in that window of 5 to 12 to win it all. I picked 3 years, and I think I'm a little light on that. How many years would you put on that for a team seeded 5th through 12th to win it all?
1. I mean, think about it. It's because let's say Ohio State and let's say Ohio State and Oregon play in the Big Ten championship. They're both really awesome, and Ohio State wins. Ohio State's the 1. Oregon is the 6. Oregon can still win the national championship, or let's say on the weird, freakish, better example is probably, last year where Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship. Alabama's in the top 4. Georgia's 5 or 6. Georgia could have still won the national championship last year. So 1 through 4 matters. I mean, not playing that one extra game is going to be just that much of a big deal, just because you're taking that extra chance, more injuries. You actually have to try. You have to actually care. So those top 4 seeds are going to be a big deal. But those 5, 6, 7, 8 are all going to be killers.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's funny. We have it all covered now. He said 3, I said 2, you said 1. So we're good shape on that.
Actually, I lied there because Ohio State and Georgia are going to be 1 and 2 in some ways, and one of those 2 is going to win. So I will take 2 or 3. I lied with my 1.
Oh, so you're giving us the field. You would take Georgia and Ohio State this year and give away the field?
It's over. I mean, I love my sport, but there's no point. Ohio State bought itself a champion.
Wait, Ryan Day just barked against that.
Yeah, right. But why? That's what you're supposed to do. That's the game now.
Well, because you still have to coach it. You still have to coach it. You still have to play the game. Yes, you can buy talent, but as we know, talent doesn't always win. It does a lot.
Let me put it this way: Ryan Day sucks if the Ohio State's not playing for the national championship with this team. So I am a Ryan Day supporter. I am on the Ryan Day Apologist Club. It's next to impossible to do what he has been able to do winning percentage-wise since he's taken over. But Ohio State, Georgia, the field. Those 2 are so much better than everyone else out there, and especially with Ohio State's schedule. I mean, seriously, can you find more cream puffy non-conference games? I mean, there's nobody on that slate that's going to come within 20 of Ohio State, except for the big boys in the Big Ten. So there's just no – with that talent level, there's absolutely zero excuse for Ohio State to not at least be close to the national title. Georgia's really awesome. And, there's always going to be that, 2019 LSU type thing happening from somewhere. So it's possible. I don't think it's going to be probable. It's possible that an LSU or a Texas or someone like that rises up again this year. But no, it's those two and everyone else.
All right, since you're saying they're head and shoulders above everyone except Georgia, how wide is the gap between Ohio State and Oregon? Because that's going to be obviously one of their big tests in the season. Where are you at on Oregon and what they're going to be bringing to the field?
Really, really awesome, but do it already. I mean, for all the great things Oregon did last year, they couldn't get by Washington when it really mattered. Washington was good. Obviously, they played for the national championship. They had something going for it. But Oregon was better, and they just kind of couldn't get it done. They're right there, and certainly Oregon can beat Ohio State on the right day. But that's kind of the thing here. And this is where, again, if you're at Ohio State, going forward, you're never going to miss a college football playoff again because you're going to go 10-2 or 11-2 or something like that at worst every single year. So, all right, so you lose the game. It doesn't matter. You're still in the playoff. That's the nice part about this where, the buffer is there. Where, how many times in the last couple of years, like a couple of years ago, Ohio State almost won the national championship. They lost to Michigan and almost won the national championship. Going forward, there might be a misfire, but you get that reset, and, of course, everything changes. And what I don't foresee in this new expanded college football playoff, it's not the NCAA tournament. You can't just get hot from 3 for a game and pull off an upset. There's going to be a lot of just thunderously bad games here because in just how this is going to work. But in the end, I think we're going to get some monsters. My other, to go back to what you said before about liking this thing, my other big concern about this, the national championship's like January 20th.
Yeah.
Like that's so long. I mean, people will care. And I do think that this is going to take over the month of December more than before, but by that time of year, it's NFL. It just is. It just as is right now. And the college football national championship loses a little bit of its steam, but that's just way too late to have a national championship.
Well, you said one thing in there that I think a lot of Buckeye fans listening would echo, and the hot seat and the pressure and all that with the power moves that they've made this offseason. It's got, hey, let's push the chips in the middle and live with the consequences. I think that's it. We do have that feel here in Columbus. I think you nailed that correctly. And now all we got to do is wait for the games to be played. Thanks, Pete. Good job, man. Always appreciate you coming on.
Anytime, guys.
Pete Fiutak, publisher of collegefootballnews.com. I didn't think there was that big of a gap because I would include Texas. I think they have a championship window right now to kind of tap into a little bit. We'll see. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Oregon and what they've done. Bring in their portal additions with Dylan Gabriel and Dante Moore. I feel like there's something there. We'll find out. I don't think anybody truly trusts Notre Dame except for the guy behind the glass over there. Bama certainly feels like, if you want to call them a rebuild, if you can call them a rebuild ever, but they feel like they're in it with the new coach.
Yeah, man.
He said Missouri, you like Utah team to get a crack with house money kind of feel. You're going to have a couple teams in there, like a Utah team or name another team. Even a Penn State, if they get in, might feel like, well, no one's expecting us to do anything, and maybe it takes the pressure off. You make a Final Four, you're in the semifinals, there's pressure on everybody to win. But if you're getting in as an 8 or a 9 and you win that first game and then have to play Ohio State, you feel like you've already played a game. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Who knows? And then location certainly would benefit the home team. So you're right. Upsets are going to be a lot harder, but the pressure on the underdog team will be a lot less.
Yeah, I do like Utah this year, especially with Cam Rising coming back. I mean, we didn't see him at all last year, and Coach Whittingham, he always has like that physical team, and now they're going down to the Big 12, I think, a conference where they're going to be pretty comfortable. So, yeah, I like them a lot. In Texas, they lost a lot. So Quinn Ewers, there may be a decent amount of pressure on him to maybe elevate some talent that doesn't have a lot of experience down there in Austin.
All right, Maddie, before today, 4 teams paid 2 wide receivers $20 million or more. Make that 5 after this morning. We'll tell you who next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only radio show Ryan Day listens to when we're holding him hostage, making him listen to a radio show. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationship with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right. So I mentioned to you guys let me go back to what I was looking at. I felt like there were a certain amount of teams that paid their receivers. We talked about the luxury of being able to pay receivers. And there's not a lot of that, right? It's when you have 20 million plus guys on your team, it's a very difficult thing to come up with. As I kind of tap dance here because I thought I had my list, but I do know they're up to 5 now. We are up to 5 teams. So there are 5 teams. So of the teams that have 2 wide receivers that have at least $20 million per season, before today, it was the Bucs with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, the Bears with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, the Texans with Diggs and Nico, the Eagles with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and now Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle.
This is a recent trend. You mentioned Jaylen Waddle. We got news this morning that Jaylen Waddle got a 3-year contract extension worth $84 million. How do you like this, AR? Of the $84 million, 76 guaranteed.
Just do it all.
Exactly.
We're close enough, right? If you're his agent, why don't you guys make a big splash here and make a big headline?
Oh, that's good stuff by his agent. So, yeah, you're looking at 28 a year now for Jaylen Waddle. And as you mentioned, this all season, we see some other teams hop on board. The Keenan Allen money kind of came over, obviously, from the Chargers, but they were one of those rare teams at the time that did do it with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. And so Waddle's, he's absolutely earned this. He's absolutely earned this. The dude's been an absolute star since he came out of college. Just an explosive playmaker that scares the crap out of you if you're a defense. It's not even baking in Tyreek Hill to this right now, but Waddle alone, before Hill even got there, showed us that he could be a dude. I mean, it's been 1,000 yards every year. In 2022, he led the league in yards per catch at 18 yards per catch. So this is worth it. He and Tyreek Hill are arguably the best duo in the sport right now, and they took a page out of the Philly book, as you mentioned, because now A.J. Brown's the highest paid wide receiver in the league when we talk AAV at $32 million and Devontae Smith at $25. So, yeah, a great day, obviously, for Jaylen Waddle, and guys like CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Brandon Ayuk are they're smiling today after this contract was handed out.
So a couple things there. First of all, you got to get that one right because you drafted him 6th. You got to get that one right.
They hit on that.
And when you draft a receiver or a skill guy, whether it's a running back or wide receiver, you have to get it right. Mm-hmm. Quarterback, the old school was you better get it right because it's just too valuable. But now these teams are like, okay, we'll just keep swinging. If we're bad, guess what? We'll pick high again. But they really needed to get that one right, and they did. Remember, he came in with an ankle injury. He was coming off that. There weren't a lot of weaknesses here. The only weakness that anyone ever pushed on him was that, at Bama, he didn't face press. So now he will in the NFL, and we'll see how he does. And
How'd that work out?
He's done really well. Yeah. But you nailed it at the very beginning. When you have terrifying speed, and remember, his comp coming out of Alabama was Tyreek Hill.
The cheetah.
Like, that was the funny part, is they're teammates. The one thing I would say to you is if I'm going to pay a guy, you'll laugh. But I think this is true.
Is this another scale with the money, equating to something?
No, by the way, I think I'm ahead of my time with that one. I think basketball Buckeye fan thought I was on the right track there. Anyway, if I'm going to pay a guy that amount of money, why do I also have to give him a bonus for, quote, working out? That'd be like saying to you or me, hey, guys, we want Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice to do the show together. We're going to give you a bonus for showing up and actually doing the show.
Wait, so there's some type of incentive in this contract?
It's a $100,000 workout bonus. Now, I don't know exactly what that entails. Maybe it's just hey, don't eat jars of peanut butter during the offseason. I don't know. But a $100,000 workout bonus in every year of the deal?
It's a lot.
$100,000?
It's a lot.
Like, it's just a way for them to, just let's hide more money. Maybe it's a little incentive. But honestly, if you have a job out there and they pay you a salary and you're getting a bonus for something like, hey, we also really need you to get to work. We'll pay you a bonus if you actually get here and do the work.
Yeah, it's wild. That's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So, look, they've got their 2 pillars on the outside that are going to be around for a while. I'm assuming at some point I wouldn't be shocked if they hit Tyreek Hill with some type of extension here in the near future either. But now, this shines a light on their QB1 and Tua. And now he's playing this year on the last year of that rookie deal, the 5th-year option. And it sounds like they're going to get a deal done.
It's not an automatic.
I think it is AR, but I just don't know if we're going to be automatically putting Tua in that $53 to $55 million club.
I agree with that, but you do not have to give him a contract extension before this season. He's already under contract through this year, and they could always use the tag.
We rarely see that with quarterbacks. I know. Though. We rarely see that with quarterbacks. So now I'm just curious how quickly they're going to hit the gas pedal here to get a deal done with Tua, because he showed them last year that he could stay healthy, and the numbers are great. The numbers are great, but his history when it comes to health isn't very good. They're going to sign Tua. It's just a matter of how much at this point. But because what are your other options?
Yeah, I'm not looking to replace him, and you're right. The better question is who are you going to replace him with? They have control over his rights, though, for 2024. For 2025 with the tag if they want it, and maybe, and I know this is unrealistic, go with another one in 26. They probably wouldn't do that because no reasonable person ever would suggest getting rid of Tua right now. He's too valuable, and I think you hit the big part. He could go in there with his agent and say, now you challenged me on staying healthy, and I cleared that hurdle for you.
I got it done.
I went through a season injury-free.
Yeah.
And we're all worried about him because of what he's endured and what.
So I gave you a clean bill of health and high-end production. Let's keep this core together and see what we can do.
Yeah. The question you always have with certain quarterbacks like Tua is being good enough? Or do we need him to be great? And is there another alternative to being great? And then it's how much money to commit to him right now if you're not sure that he's going to be great. There's belief in him. I believe in him. He's not a bust. No. I think a lot of people thought he would maybe be a bust. I think he's proven it, but they put every last resource around him to make him great. But that's what good franchises do.
And when he's out there, it works. Yeah. And when he's out there, it works. I think the front office is going to try to protect themselves, though. That's why I can't wait to see the details of his contract when he gets it.
All right, we'll come back. SportsCenter update here at top of the hour, and we'll get into another quarterback. And will this one do whatever it takes just to get on the field in whatever position? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Whether you're popping the question or ready to say I do, there's only one true jeweler to shop for your one true love. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. As a true jeweler, we not only have luxury designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. For more than 75 years, our expert staff has been caring for couples just like you and providing the absolute lowest prices guaranteed. Visit the Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center. The possibilities are endless.
Hey, it's Anthony here, and over the years, I've tried to stay in the fight, keep playing, but every now and then, something gets me. Shoulder pain, a knee tweak, a recent bout of golfer's elbow. When the weekend warrior injuries happen, the first call I make is to the specialists at Orthopedic One. I don't mess around. I want the #1 ranked place for orthopedics in Ohio. They've earned the right to be called Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts. Get started at orthopedic1.com. No referral needed, but if you want one, I got you.
Big things are happening on the east side.
We're ready to deal. Come negotiate during May's Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda. Lower payments, better financing, more value for any trade. Shop lindsayhonda.com and see new Hondas with thousands in savings plus many other deals. We'll work hard to get you a payment you can afford. Now during May Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. See lindsayhonda.com for program details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
So you're in the middle of a kitchen update, and you can't tell if that's a faucet stem or a flange. With the Home Depot app, doing doesn't miss a beat. It'll find what you need in a snap, and it'll show you how to find it in store with a tap. Or get it delivered free. For doing that doesn't stop, download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Andrews. The introductory press conference yesterday of the Blue Jackets. Don Waddell introduces the new GM. He joined Rothman and Ice yesterday afternoon and asked about getting opinions from all involved.
I want to hear what everybody here thinks about these players before I give because a lot of times I've been in situations, if I give my opinion about a player, and some people are going to just want to agree with me, which is wrong. I like somebody thinks totally different. They got to disagree and tell me why, and they could be right, or I could be right.
NHL last night, Western Conference Finals, Edmonton beat Dallas 5-2. Evening that series of 2 games apiece. Game 5 tomorrow. In the Eastern Conference Finals tonight, Florida and New York. The Panthers and Rangers are tied 2 games apiece. Game 5 tonight at 8 o'clock. NBA Western Conference Game 5 tonight. Dallas and Minnesota. Dallas leads that series 3-1. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Got ins and outs this hour. Mark Schofield, our man from SB Nation, will talk NFL with us. I'll have your Buckeye Bulletin as usual. By the way, you brought this story up, and I just want to bring it up real quickly. The Mets are a mess, right? And it's not like we're doing all Met radio here. But you and I talked about this before the show, that, their big guns needed to be, Lindor's batting like 214. Alonso's batting like 230. Nimmo's batting like 210.
And the lack of success for Lindor has Guardians fans smiling. They were booing him in Cleveland.
Good.
Really?
Why not?
It's not his fault. They didn't want to pay the man.
Yeah, I know.
I thought the booing was excessive. I don't know. I didn't understand that. The dude was a hell of a player for them, brought them some good memories. And to boo him, it's not like he was banging the table to get me out of here and all that stuff. It worked out well for him, though, with the team they got now. I know they lost last night, but the Guardians been rolling.
I'll have to go back and really kind of dive into the whole contract deal.
Because you were out and Tyvus was in. CB was all in on the Guardian fan base booing him. They were giving it to him. Okay.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite understand that.
Listen, it's paid a guy $350 million. He's going to go take that or whatever he got. It was pretty awesome. But
now
his struggles, I think you could take a little satisfaction in that.
It's pretty wild.
But let me tell you a little story about this guy, this pitcher last night that not only got tossed from the game, but then tossed his glove into the stands, and then they booted him off the team.
Yeah, pack your bags. You're out of here. Jorge Lopez. See ya. Never seen anything like it.
They cut a guy after he got ejected and then threw his glove into the stands.
Well, it doesn't help either. Or go ahead. Sorry. Finish.
No, I was going to say, the first question I asked you was, does the fan keep the glove? Of course he does, because the player doesn't want it back.
Well,
the organization would then have to go try to get it back.
Every baseball game that I've been to or watched on TV where there's like a bat that flies in the stands, there's usually a security guard or someone from the team that comes in and gets the bat. Now, to your point, I don't know if that's because the player says, I need that bat back, but I don't know what happened yesterday with the glove. And honestly, it's
nobody throws a bat purposely into the stands. It flies out of their hands.
Right, but they usually come in and get that bat.
Right, but if you actually take a glove and actively toss it in, then that's a nice souvenir.
He was on one. Again, I've never seen that in baseball. And I think, you don't help yourself when after the game, when you're talking in the meeting, you're saying, I don't give a blank about anything.
Yeah.
And then you double down and saying that this is the worst blanking team in Major League Baseball.
There might be a little bit of language barrier there, I heard, that maybe he called himself the worst teammate, but then did he add that it was on the worst team?
Yeah, he kind of...
I think he was just being sarcastic about himself. So I'm the worst teammate on the worst team. I think he was...
Yeah.
he was, like you said, he was in his emotions at the time. But the cool part of the story is none of this. They're 10 games under 500. They're 16 games out of first, and they play in a tough division. It's the fact that a fan went to that game and got a player's glove to go home with.
Yeah, but it's Jorge Lopez. It's like, I don't want his glove.
You can embellish that story. Just say, years from now, say it was somebody else.
I don't know if you can do that with social media. That'll live forever.
Oh, that's too bad.
Like
See, I'm still in that mind. I'm still in that mindset.
Just lie. There's no receipts.
Like, this isn't the first guy to ever argue with an ump get tossed.
Oh, no, not at all.
So I am wondering a little bit of why they did cut him.
It had to be some other behind-the-scenes stuff because it couldn't be just this one thing. I also think,
too, like cutting a manager after he argues with an ump gets tossed.
I also think, too, like, if he's one of their best pitchers or players, they're not cutting him. So he's obviously not very good. So, yeah, wow, you're right. And so the Mets stink, and on the other side of town, Judge, Soto, and the Yankees are on top of the world. They're going crazy.
Well, he went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, a home run, and walked a guy.
And then got fired.
Yes. He got 1 out, tossed his glove into the stands, and that's it.
And then guess what happened after the game? The dreaded players-only meeting.
Oh, I heard about this, yes.
There's never been a team in the history of sports that has had a players-only meeting for a good time. It's all bad, and this is going to completely fall apart.
The question I would have, and this would be a deeper dive, some case study on, the teams that do have player-only meetings, how have they then worked out after that?
It's a great question.
Or not?
I just know when you have those, that's when you know you got it. DEFCON 1 or 2, probably around that range when you're having players-only meetings. And it's only May. So good luck to the Mets.
Well, the good news for me is no regrets.
I don't give a blank about it.
I mean, that's the best. If he doesn't regret it, then that's great. I love living life without a trace of self-consciousness. I don't really care. That has to be a very stress-free way to live. However, if you lose your job, you get fired and all that's not, then the stress can come back. But at least in the moment, you had that time, right? I mean, there's a lot of fish. You didn't hear this. There are a lot of people that dream of going into their boss and telling him to go, what they can do, and then do the walkout. That dream of walkout. If you ever get bored, go on YouTube and look up like people that have quit live on TV, like anchors, and it gets a little weird because no one knows it's coming except them, and they're willing to say anything. And there have been times where people have completely, but like you said, that is going to stay forever because I just told you. You can go to YouTube and look it up. Go look up people like anchors that have walked off the set live on the air. They probably they dreamed up the moment on how it would feel, and probably in the moment they got their money's worth.
So I think there has to be a couple things on the other side when you make that decision. One, obviously another job is intact and you're ready to go somewhere else. Or two, financially, the bank account is booming and you're like, you know what, I don't give a blank about anything like Jorge Lopez because I got a lot of coin. Right?
How much does he? I don't know how much he gets
paid. That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't heard of the guy, honestly, so I don't think he's, well, I could be wrong. But I can't imagine.
There are a lot of probably Lopez's in the Major League Baseball.
If he was good, he's not losing his job today.
Yeah, not for a glove toss. It's not a great look, but it's not completely damaging.
It's not a fireable offense.
Yeah. All right, we come back, and you and I wanted to talk about Justin Fields.
Yep.
Do you remember when it was thrown out there? Was it one of his teammates that was in a special teams meeting?
It was Jaylen Warren.
Yeah, Jaylen Warren threw out that, hey, who knows, Justin Fields may return kicks for us. And he has now been asked about it and kind of laughed off the idea of returning it. But it's weird. When you read the quote, and I mentioned this to Bodie earlier, there is something in the quote that kind of does contradict it a little bit. When he talks about, I think everybody interpreted this the wrong way. Coach Danny was basically just trying to send a message that no matter who you are, you could be on special teams. He just used that as an example. Like no one's exempt, even Justin Fields kind of thing, right? So he used it for effect.
Yeah.
But later on, he was quoted as saying, hey, you never know. He might cook something up. We'll see what happens.
Did he really say that?
Unless I'm wrong about it.
No, I'm not. I believe you.
There were some outside-the-box diagrams of how the Steelers could utilize Fields as one deep returner with the ability to throw the ball across the field. Music City Miracle kind of deal. To another deep returner. Fields was a good sport about that, putting nothing past the 70-year-old coach. hey, you never know. He might cook something up. We'll see what happens.
And then he was asked, really? And then he said, quote, "Nah, I'm not here to do that. It was kind of a joke, to be honest with you."
Okay.
I couldn't imagine.
So he's playing kind of company man. Like, I don't want to be the guy that says, absolutely no, I don't care what they want. I'm not doing it.
And then,
right.
you know, when he gets away from the media and he's talking to his boys, he's like, there's absolutely no way I'm doing that. Like, there's no chance that that's going to happen. He would have never signed with Pittsburgh if that was on the table, that he would have had to contribute in some way to special teams. So here we are in OTAs, and there's a handful of, OTAs left for some few teams. Yep. And we didn't have, Kay Adams had James Palmer on her show, and he's an NFL reporter. He gave us a little insight as to what's going on with the quarterback race.
I believe, and my understanding is that Justin Fields has a real shot at winning the starting job. Is that for week one? That's probably a little bit of an uphill battle to win it by week one, just by the way everything is kind of, I don't want to say slated against him, but that's kind of where it is right now. If you look at Russ's, resume and a Super Bowl and where he's at, and both have struggled recently, but there's a larger sample size of success for Russ than there is for Justin right now. Do I think he still has an opportunity to win the job at some point? I really, really do. I think that is possible. Is that by week one? Doesn't have to be. We saw a quarterback change there last year, right, Kay? And Mason Rudolph played well and kept it. I could see that happening. My bet would be that we see both quarterbacks play this year in Pittsburgh. I really do think we do.
Absolutely. There's no question in my mind you're going to see both, because I do really think, unless Russell flops or Justin just looks so much better, that Tomlin will stick to his guns and say, I need the veteran to start the season. And then we kind of see how it goes. The one thing that does keep Justin Fields on the bench, and I said this earlier, is Russell Wilson playing well. And if he does that, great. Then the Steelers are feeling good. And then it's a great problem to have that we just don't know about Justin Fields. I'm in the camp of one guy could be your future. One guy's definitely not your future. So if you're Pittsburgh and you're just playing for the present, then go ahead. Play Russ. If he plays well, keep playing. If you're winning, you're winning. You're never going to upset the team. No one's above the team as far as winning is concerned, because that's the most important thing. But if they're mediocre or they're 500 going into their bye, then all of a sudden it's like, we got to see what's going on with Justin Fields. So I don't think there was anything with what he said that was like monumental, because I really believe that we're still in the camp of, hey, Fields is 10 years younger, but he's 10-28 as a starter. Now, a lot of that was the Bears. A lot of it was his growing pains and all that. I don't know who the better quarterback is today. I absolutely know who the more experienced guy is.
I know who has the higher ceiling.
Right.
And that's Justin Fields to me. And my mind goes to Arthur Smith in all of this. And
Artie?
Artie. And let's say that the race is fairly close coming out of training camp. As the new offensive coordinator, my guess is he would lean towards Justin Fields. And I'm saying that because you were at one point in time a big fan of Ryan Tannehill, and rightfully so, because Ryan Tannehill was playing good ball for the Tennessee Titans a handful of years ago, and Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator. And Ryan Tannehill's skill set is similar to Justin Fields, even though Justin's rushing ability is, I think, way above Tannehill's. Tannehill's could hurt you in that way. And because of that style of quarterback and the success that he's had, and the way I think this team's going to be constructed this year, like, I think they're going to be running the rock pretty good. They've really invested well in their offensive line. And this year's draft, first and second round picks were on offensive linemen, and the first round pick last year at tackle with Broderick Jones. So I think that's going to be their bread and butter. And I think Arthur Smith can look at the construction of this team and say, well, I had A.J. Brown back in 2019, and that dude was averaging 20 yards a catch. And I got George Pickens, who can really hurt defenses too with big plays and play action. So if it is close and Arthur Smith will have a say in this, I think he's going to roll with Justin Fields because of what he could do, more plays he could go with as a play caller.
So I agree with that, but it would go very much against all the stuff I had heard about Arthur Smith when he was with Atlanta, and how he had wanted nothing to do with Justin Fields. And now maybe that he's seen him in the pros now, and they go ahead and draft Kyle Pitts when they had the possibility of getting Justin Fields, and they didn't when he was the head coach. And everything that I had read from, and people that were in the know with the NFL Network said, Arthur Smith didn't want him once. Why would he beg for him now to be the guy, unless he thinks he's the best guy? Right.
Doesn't matter now.
Because they're together.
Yep.
But if you read the conversations about the Steelers, which is the most intriguing stuff that I think, who said it? Was Weish, I think he's the reporter for the NFL Network, that, hey, he wanted nothing to do with him when he was with Atlanta, when Justin was with us at Ohio State. So now they're together. All things change. Like I say, you have years that have he's gotten to see him in the pros and all that. But you're right. He gives him there's a dangerous side to Justin Fields if you're a defense.
No doubt.
Just whether or not he can lead a team and command everything that needs to be commanded. But I mean, you looked at the schedule, and so have I. I was kind of a big one just in that perception of, let's have Russell go back to Denver in week 2. Where would you see this happening?
Week 9.
Oh, all the way in week 9. So what would their record be through 8?
I don't know what their record.
500?
I don't know what their record would be. I'm still leaving a small percentage chance that he can win the job out of the gate. Like Russell Wilson hasn't done anything the last 2 years to really have that thing locked down.
Ins and outs coming next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice.
Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes Monster Energy and Red Bull and Gatorade and Body Armor. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I need you to listen up real quick. One of the largest manufacturers in the United States for CPAP machines recently announced they're suspending sales of all their breathing machines over problems with the devices. Millions of Philips Respironic ventilators and CPAP machines are being recalled now that they've reached a plea agreement with the FDA. That all doesn't sound good. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's why I'm not going to deal with my sleep apnea because I don't want to have a bulky CPAP. Well, this is where you need to call my guy, Dr. Mark Levy. Dr. Mark Levy has dedicated his practice to helping people who suffer from sleep apnea, and he can create a custom mouthpiece for you that stops your snoring and effectively treats your sleep apnea with no CPAP machine. Yeah, he's in network with most major medical insurers and is a Medicare provider too. This is Dr. Mark Levy's passion. He's been doing this a long time. He wants to help you with your sleep apnea and also make it so your partner doesn't want to murder you dead because you snore so much. So do what I did. Call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Every year, Adult Protective Services receives thousands of reports of elder abuse, exploitation, and neglect in Ohio. When a report is received, Adult Protective Services can check in and provide help if needed. If someone you know is showing signs of elder maltreatment, don't hesitate to call 855-OHIO-APS. Let's work together to help every Ohioan age safely.
Low Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Low Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Glo Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glo Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It is nice out there today. It is bright and it is sunny. We're going 70 for the high temperature today. Tonight we drop down to 47. And TGIF, tomorrow is Friday. We're looking at temperatures up around 75, slightly warmer under sunny skies. Clouds increase on Saturday. Rain returns by Saturday evening. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
All right, Bodie, what do you got cooked up?
All right, guys, we will start first couple in the NBA playoffs here. Tonight we have Game 5 between Minnesota and Dallas in the Western Conference Finals. I want to know from you guys, Minnesota, will they force a Game 7? Can they win 2 more to get it to 7? In or out on that?
Listen, only 4 teams in NBA history have even forced a Game 7 down 3-0. Forget about trying to win one, which they haven't, right?
155-0, or
right.
the teams that are up 3-0.
So the Timberwolves face this insurmountable deal. So this would be a bet against history if I felt they will do it. I'm going to say no, that we don't go to a Game 7. I feel that they got tonight to show themselves something. And then the psychology of the series does change if they win tonight, because then Dallas thinks we got to. Now the pressure's all on Dallas, so I'll leave a very small percentage. But if I was betting, I would bet against no, there will not be a Game 7.
So their journey has been wild, right? To get to this point, you sweep Kevin Durant and the Suns, and then you're down 20 in Game 7 to the champs, and you still find
forgot about them being down 20.
Like, it's crazy, right? And here they are. They made some adjustments. You saw that they put, McDaniels on Kyrie. Kyrie didn't have a good game. Anthony Edwards was on Luka.
Yep.
And Cat woke up.
He did.
And that's been the problem for them, is the first few games, the stars and Anthony Edwards and Cat did not play well, and they played well in the last game. I think they're winning tonight. But it's a lot to ask, because I just think if Dallas goes home for Game 6, they're going to be laser focused. Now, here's the other thing hovering over this. Like, is Derek Lively going to play? That showed itself, too. They didn't have him there. So I'm going to roll with AR that I'm going to be out on this, but Minnesota has showed us they can make things very interesting.
They can, and that's why I'm glad you asked the question, will they force a Game 7 out? Will they win the series? Because no one thinks they'll win the series. But I'd like to see nothing more than this happen. I really would.
Oh, yeah,
I'd like to see them come back. If there was any team that could do it, it feels like they're led by this crazy confidence, even though they're down. Because who was the one that said, I still don't believe they can beat us? Was it Edwards?
I think Edwards.
Edwards, yeah, even when they were down. Yeah.
Well, and he told Bodie's boy, Micah Parsons, at the game, I see you wearing those A1s. I'll bring you a pair back for Game 6 in Dallas.
Well, and your Celtics pulled this off last year. They were down 3-0 and forced Game 7, then got whacked.
And had it at home. Still got killed.
But Tatum was not.
Tatum rolled his ankle.
He rolled his ankle
20 seconds into the game. Yeah,
that was tough.
Speaking of Tatum, Boston awaits the winner of Dallas, Minnesota in the NBA Finals, Game 1 next Thursday night. Boston has to have a healthy Kristaps Porzingis to win the finals. In or out?
I'm going to say yes, and 2 reasons why. I think, because I'm going to assume, Bodie, at this point, Dallas is coming out of the Western Conference. They have 3 really good bigs in Gafford, Lively, and P.J. Washington. They've got those lob threats. And I don't know how much you want to continue to rely on the old man in Al Horford. He's hit you with some good moments here or there, but I think to really solidify things with what Porzingis does as a rim protector and a three-point shooter, I'm going to be in on that.
If they get Porzingis back, I believe they will win it all. If they don't, I have them still probably getting it done.
Okay.
So to answer your question, perfect, it would be no. I don't think they have to have him to win it all. But you're right. If they get him, it's such a cool moment because it's revenge. It's against Dallas. He gets a chance to be on the other side and all that. And be a big part of it. But you mentioned it. If Tillman, I mean, you can't count on him. If you get Porzingis for 20 to 25 minutes, I think you're in great shape. But I would not bury them against Dallas if they don't have him. I won't do it.
All right, next up here, stick with basketball. Let's go to college. Saw a couple different, I think it was ESPN and The Athletic I saw this morning, if I'm correct on that. Top 25 rankings, some way too early top 25 rankings for college basketball. Both did not have Ohio State in the top 25, but had them in that next tier of like 4 to 5 teams if there was a top 30, we'll say. So I want to know from you guys, Ohio State should be in the top 25 rankings for college basketball heading into next season. You in or out?
It's a good word, should. No, they shouldn't be, but I think they could be. But I'm glad you put it that way. I can't sit here and say, just because I love the potential of the return of Michie and Bruce and the transfer and Parrish and all that, and Bradshaw and what's he going to be, I can't sit here and say that it would be a slight if they weren't. Like somehow it'd be disrespectful. I think there's just too much unknown. Yeah. But I think they certainly could, and I actually expect them to be in the preseason top 25. I think they could be there, but I don't think I would say, oh, wow, what a disrespectful thing they weren't.
No, I'm with you, man. I think they got a lot of proving to do. On paper, you can talk yourself into, the ceiling of this team and the guys that you mentioned, and especially the addition now of Sean Stewart, another big that they got from Duke that was a big-time recruit. It's just a lot of unknown early on in the process. At some point in time, I could definitely see them turning into that type of squad, but right out of the gate, it's too big of a question mark for me, Bodie, so I got to be out.
All right, next up here, we spent a good chunk of the first hour talking about this topic here, the college football playoff, moving to 12 teams this upcoming season. We will see a 3-loss team make that 12-team college football playoff this fall. In or out?
Oh, I'm going to be in.
3
I'm
loss?
going to be in on that. Because I think with the respect that the conference that is the SEC has, and even the Big Ten, with the additions now of USC and UCLA, some of those committee folks can talk themselves into a couple of those, quote, good losses. So I'm going to be in.
I mean, there's a little fear of the whole playoff we've discussed at the beginning of the show about diluting the importance of the regular season. But I looked this up. The number 13 team in the college football playoff rankings this year, 9-3 LSU. All their 3 losses came against teams that would make a 12-team playoff. So they would have a case.
The good losses. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
That they're 3 losses, that they didn't have a bad loss. Right. And so they would have a case. I'm going to say no to the 3-loss team getting in first year. I don't think you'll squeeze a Matic there at 12. I think that'll be our controversy. That's a perfect controversy. Oh, this 3-loss team who lost to 3 playoff teams, should they get in? That'll be what
over maybe a 2-loss team that doesn't have the quality of the schedule. All right, last one here, guys. That time of year, it's nice and hot out. Ice cream is a great snack. I want to know from you guys, is ice cream the best snack /treat / junk food? In or out?
In the summertime?
Just period.
Just period?
Yep.
Oh, man, that's so many things on the board. But you're right. I mean, you could remix ice cream so many different ways. But
what else is on the board?
Well, I mean, you talk snacks. It could be anything. Right? I'm going to go with, and there's just nothing better to me than a warm batch of chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
There's just nothing better.
You brought something to the table. I asked, you answered. Asked and answered. That's a pretty good, solid deal. Because when he first said it, I said, absolutely. There's nothing better. And there's so many varieties, right? It's not just going to get a scoop of ice cream or chocolate mint chip, but I could eat 4 of those ice cream bars right now. And I'll tell you, when I was a kid, the drumstick was. I haven't had a drumstick in a long time. Had one the other day. Phenomenal.
Fire.
Yeah. Or go to a baseball game and get the chocolate chip cookies mashed around ice cream.
Like a little sandwich.
Yes, the chip witch.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, we just combined our powers.
Yeah, that works.
Your chocolate chip cookies with my ice cream, chip witch done.
It's a party. Sign me up for that.
Mark Schofield, SB Nation, he'll come on next. We had the conversation about one quarterback waiting to get paid and how much pressure did Jared Goff's deal add to it. We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I work for Meijer. People always ask, why do I shop there? It's because I can get great quality and value in one stop. Like this week's hottest deals on locally grown asparagus and select cuts of pork. Plus, I can earn 50 points per gallon of gas pumped at any Meijer Express through June 1st with M-Perks. Meijer has all I need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Bishop and Friends.
They used it as a rallying point and it worked for them. And
so you're saying they leaked themselves? That wouldn't be the weirdest thing he's ever done.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing, it's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Something amazing is happening here. AI is increasing workloads on CPUs and GPUs. But this company's laptops are more than keeping pace. That's because CDW worked with them to future-proof their laptop fleet by configuring them with devices enabled with AMD Ryzen AI. Improve performance and free up resources with AMD Ryzen and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/AMD client.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DEBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid-off. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid-off. NMLS 696891.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, we love to welcome back our friend Mark Schofield, SB Nation, covering the NFL and a lot more. Mark, good to have you aboard.
It is great to be back with you, my friends. How's everybody doing this fine late May day?
Outstanding. Hey, I know you're a big F1 guy, but that Indy end was something, wasn't it? With Newgarden passing award. I didn't think he'd have the grip to hang on the outside like that. I thought, wow, he might lose this into the wall, but he went all in on the end. Did you check it out?
He absolutely went all in. And, yeah, I did watch it. I was lucky enough. I got a chance to talk to both Alexander Rossi, who won this race back in 2016 as a rookie, and then McLaren CEO Zach Brown. Obviously, McLaren was doing a double of their own, not just with Kyle Larson trying to get to Charlotte, but they had Monaco and then Indy on that same afternoon. And I didn't think he'd have the grip to make that overtake stick at the end there. But just a fantastic race. And just, there's something about Indy, right? I mean, when I was a kid growing up in the Boston area, before Dale Sr. got me into NASCAR, before Schumacher got me into F1, I knew what Indy was. And so, being able to talk to Rossi and Brown before that race and to watch that race Sunday afternoon and to see Newgarden, hang in there and make it stick and to get O'Ward at the late end there, just a fantastic event. And it's one of those bucket list items for me. I've absolutely got to get to Indy someday.
Yeah, you need to. All right, we'll bring it back to the sport at hand here. Maddie and I were talking about Tua Tagovailoa, and his agent and the people that represent him are like, hey, look what Jared Goff just got. And I'm sure they think, maybe they don't think that unequivocally that their guy's better than him, but they probably don't think that Goff's that much better than him, and the Lions took care of him heading into his contract year. Was that kind of an eye-opening amount of money that made things more complicated for Miami or not?
I mean, I just think this is the way that the game is played now when it comes to the quarterback position. And it's a reason as a franchise you want to go early. The second you have the idea that your quarterback is a franchise guy, or maybe not even a franchise guy, but good enough to get to the dance with and give you a shot at a deep playoff run, you want to pay them sooner rather than later, because the more you wait, you're going to see 3, 4, 5 new quarterback deals done that make the price tag just tick that much higher. And I think certainly if you're Tua's representatives, you're going to point at that Goff contract and say, look, Jared Goff isn't a good starting quarterback in the National Football League. Maybe you don't think our guy's that much better, but he should at least start here. This should be our starting point. And I think down the road, Houston, for example, with C.J. Stroud, they're going to look at these deals and they're going to want to see more contracts rack up before they say to Houston, all right, it's time for CJ to get paid. And so this is how the game is played now at the quarterback position. If you're a team, you'd be smart to go early. The longer you wait, the more contracts you're going to see at the position, and the more you're going to have to pay that player eventually. And so I think for Miami and Tua, down in Miami for the Miami Grand Prix, there was a lot of discussion with local reporters about what is Tua going to get paid. And this Goff contract is just going to be the next sort of marker in that contract negotiation. So they're going to have to pay him. Maybe it won't be exactly Goff money. Maybe it'll be a little bit more, but that's the new starting point.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to stay in Miami because we got news today that one of Tua's teammates in Jaylen Waddle got himself a nice new contract worth $84 million. Here's the question I have at you. If you were stacking up some of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL, would you take the Miami duo first, or would you go to, maybe LA or Philly? Are they the number one wide receiver duo in the sport in your mind?
I mean, there are some really good duos. I mean, you mentioned some right there, LA, for example, where you've got Puka, you've got in Cooper Kupp, two receivers that fit that offensive scheme so well. I really do like what they have in Philadelphia with both Brown and Devonta Smith, because I think the way they work together and the stress they could put on offenses, both inside, out of the slot, both on the boundary, the ability of Brown to beat press coverage, press aligned defenders, and what Smith has shown as he's developed in the National Football League is impressive as well. But then speed. What's the old adage about life in the NFL? Speed kills. And Hill and Waddle certainly bring that to the table. And part of the reason that Tua is in the discussion for the big contract that he'll probably get soon is what they offer. In terms of ranking, I'd sort of lean the Philly guys over the Miami guys, just in terms of, what they can do in that offense, what they can do conceptually, what they can do schematically. But if you want speed, and if you look at what Waddle and Hill have brought to Miami and the opportunities they've created for Tua Tagovailoa in the passing game, maybe I have them 1B. Somebody will probably have them 1A. It's an argument I more than understand.
Mark Schofield with us, SB Nation, covering the NFL here on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan-Guest Hotline. What do you think Mike Tomlin's true feeling behind closed doors? What does he want to happen here? Does he want Justin Fields to show enough in training camp this fall that he actually would have to consider starting him to start the season? Or does he want the safety of Russell Wilson to start the year and then treat it that way? Start with the veteran and have to go to potentially the younger, more inexperienced guy. What does he want to happen?
I mean, I think he wants somebody to make the decision for him is where I'd sort of start that conversation, i.e. whether it's Russell Wilson showing that, okay, maybe in this new offense, maybe with some of the playmakers they have around him, we can get not vintage Russell Wilson, but something close to that. Or he wants Justin Fields to make it a non-competition, to come in to blow the doors off and to give this Steelers offense the ability to create both with the passing game and with what Justin Fields can do as an athlete. I mean, I was somebody that was very high on Justin Fields coming out of Ohio State. I still think that there is a very good starting NFL quarterback there, whether it's in Pittsburgh or elsewhere. If it were me, if I were in Mike Tomlin's shoes, I would still have that. I want somebody to make this decision for me. But my hope would be that Justin Fields makes it for me. That Justin Fields is the one over these next couple of weeks and months throughout training camp and minicamp and OTAs and all of that makes the case as to why he should be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I look at what Fields was able to do in a difficult situation in Chicago where maybe they didn't have the right playmakers around him. Maybe there was so much so much change in terms of offensive coordinator and offensive systems. He's going from system to system to system from Ohio State in a couple of years in Chicago that now with maybe a little bit of stability and some playmakers around him, he can take that next leap forward because what it's 3rd and 8 right now in the National Football League as a quarterback. Yes, you'd love to be able to have the guy that can just make a stick throw from the pocket, but the ability to create with your legs off of structure, that's something Fields can still do. Wilson had that, but it's not a strength of his game right now. So if it were me in Mike Tomlin's shoes, I'd love to be able to get to week 1 and say, you know what? Justin Fields has earned this job.
You mentioned earlier that you grew up in the Boston area. I want to ask you about the Patriots now and that quarterback situation between Jacoby Brissett and Drake May. Which guy do you believe should start the most games in 2024?
I mean, I believe it should be Drake May for the simple reason of the economics we started the conversation with, because when you draft that rookie quarterback, the sooner you know that you have a guy that could win games in the National Football League, the sooner you could start building around that player and maximizing that rookie contract window. I mean, the Texans are just the latest example of that with what they were able to do last year with Stroud and then what they were able to do in just his first offseason with all the additions they made, bringing in, Stephon Diggs and signing the free agents that they did, acquiring the talents around him to maximize that rookie contract window. So if I'm the Patriots, I want sort of that similar discussion where Drake May makes it easy, where we could say, look, whether he's a week 1 starter or week 2 or whatever, I want to see as much Drake May this year as I can so I can be confident going forward if I'm Elliott Wolf from the Patriots that this is our guy. We can now load up around him with the cap space that they have. I mean, we just put up a piece on SB Nation a little bit earlier today about T. Higgins and the situation there. The Patriots have a ton of cap space to work with right now. And if they know that Drake May's the guy, they don't have to go fix the quarterback position via free agency. They can go out and make those acquisitions like Houston did and set themselves up for a couple of years in that rookie contract window.
Nice stuff. Good insight with our friend Mark Schofield from SB Nation. Thanks, my man. Be well. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks so much, my friends. Have a great rest of the week and a great weekend.
Awesome. Mark Schofield was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangast hotline. When you asked him about the Patriots, I had a flashback to you asking Bill Burr about the Patriots.
Oh, he completely dunked on that.
What are you doing, a check-in? You guys, why didn't you check in when I had Tom Brady?
Oh,
you didn't check in. How about I call you guys and check in on the Buckeyes? You going to scrape up enough money to get some uniforms this year?
He wasn't having it, man. I was just checking his temperature. You had all those great times. Where you at now, Bill Burr? Where you at?
A wellness check? Oh, we got to pull that. We need that. I need that in the system somewhere. That's good stuff. Yeah. All right, we're going to come back. Speaking of the Buckeyes, we'll come back with a Buckeye bulletin. And one guy who is thought to be one of the best athletes on the team, how much competition does he have at his own position? We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice at the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. The crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
Celebrate 30 years of family fun at the Wilds. Book a cabin stay and a zipline adventure over animal pastures. This is family fun. This is the Wilds. Visit thewilds.org and make memories together.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spending the money to replace our home's windows is rarely something we get excited about. We usually do it because our energy bills suck or our current windows, well, they're too messed up. But in working with the local Pella Columbus team, my eyes have been opened. New windows can legitimately change the entire look of your home. They've got windows in colors and styles like I've never seen, and they can change everything. So go see my friends at PellaColumbus.com or check them out at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we're at the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport with PGA professional Hung Chow plus Ron Syrak from the U.S. Women's Open.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick. Presented by X-Golf. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, a little Buckeye Bulletin time. So maybe in the next 45 to an hour, we might get a few more kick times for Ohio State football. I mean, we already know Michigan's at noon, but, you know, I guess the question I would ask Maddie, am I going to get that Am I going to get that September night game that I love so much in that night air of September?
AR, as long as it isn't Akron, Western Michigan, or Marshall, I'm good with it. Because I
want a home night game.
I can roll with a night game on the road at Sparty on September 28th. Like anything else, like really? We're going to do the Buckeyes versus Western Michigan, Akron, or Marshall? Because those games are going to be absolute blowouts. And I don't want to wait around all day for that. Sparty, at least you get big brand, Big Ten team there, new head coach. I'd be more excited for that. So my fingers are crossed. I don't
think you would do that if you're going to get, if you're thinking you want night game for Iowa the next week. You're going to play back-to-back.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm thinking
kick them off that night, baby.
I think we'll probably get that a little nighter than I'm thinking about.
Hope it's Sparty.
Well, that's a road game, though.
Okay.
I mean, what are you going to do for me at home?
You know, it works for me. I'm all good with a road game at night.
I figured of all the people that would want a night game, it's you.
No,
You're
I don't.
The one that's got to be out there the earliest.
I actually like getting up and getting it out of the way. I don't like
to
wait.
4 in the morning?
It says about 6 a.m. 6 a.m.
That's when you start.
6:30.
When are you getting up?
There's no traffic, so I've kind of mastered this.
I know you're showering.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because that wakes me up, too, honestly.
Okay.
Take a nice hot shower. That'll wake me up. But, yeah, like, let's get Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, all noon games. Like, let's just get those over
not going to happen.
Let's just get those over with.
I'm giving you the Matumbo on that one.
There's no need for that.
They're not going to do it on the opener, so you can scratch Akron. That's not going to be a night game.
Nobody wants to watch Western Michigan and
Nobody's
Marshall
got time for that?
lose by 40 at night. Like, we got things
How
to do.
about at any time?
Be careful with Marshall. Oh, they'll say that much.
The herd?
They came to South Bend a couple years ago.
You heard?
Let me tell you something, buddy.
Us around.
Byron Leftwich ain't walking through that door. Randy Moss ain't walking through that door, okay? Why did I say okay like Kirk Cousins, right?
I don't even think that was a Kirk Cousins. I think it was more of like a Charlie Casserly. I don't think that was a Kirk. Kirk's a little more subtle than that, I think.
I felt
What were
bad
you
for
thinking
Kirk.
about? A little Chad Pennington or somebody? Or who am I thinking of?
Byron Leftwich.
Cole Pennington? Related?
I think there was a Pennington. Yeah, I think he had it right the first time, I think. Chad.
No, it's not Chad.
No?
Chad was with the Jets.
He played at Marshall, though, didn't he? I
think he did play at Marshall.
I think
but that was a long, long time ago. I'm talking about recently.
Oh, I have no idea.
Chad Pennington? I think Chad Pennington's probably been retired for.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about there was a Pennington recently.
That played for who?
Marshall.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't know that. I'm not watching Marshall football on Saturdays, but good for you.
Who was quarterbacking for Marshall when they beat you guys?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
It didn't matter. We couldn't get a first down.
Who was quarterbacking for you?
Buckner.
Oh.
Then he got hurt.
Bill?
That was the game. He got hurt.
Bodie, you guys have had some tough window of time here with the quarterback play.
Yeah, Sam Hartman was solid last year, but he kind of didn't live up to the billing.
Yeah, now you got O'Reilly.
Hey, we went back to Tobacco Road, so let's try another one. And if he doesn't work, we're going to take whoever starts for North Carolina maybe next year.
Just keep swinging down there. Huh?
All right, so the prediction will be
which game you going with?
The middle one, because
Western Michigan. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Well, if you got to have one,
like I don't
think seriously. I'm thinking about Ohio State. I don't think I'd want a night game for what's the third game?
Marshall.
I don't think I'd want it for there because I'm going on the road the next week. So I don't want a night game in the last one.
It may not be what they want. It may be Peacock or
it's
CBS,
whatever Ohio State wants,
or the TV network saying you're playing here.
I think we got a little more flex than that, but we'll see.
Western Michigan's a joke at 8:00.
Maybe we put it at 7. I don't know.
Oh, an hour.
Whatever you want, Maddie. We'll make it work. Well, if it would be that kind of, 8:00. I agree. It was a little earlier kick. Then you'd be on at what time? Now I'm really starting to do the math and the brain's hurting. Yeah. So
if it's a 3:30 kick, I'm on at 10. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds right. So if it was a 7:00 kick. We're in Italy, you'd be making my bed, but we're in Germany, so I got to make yours. It's in the regulations. I don't really.
1:30 to 3:30, right? Because then AR, you guys are on 3:30 to 5:30.
Yeah, then it's
5:30 network join.
Network.
So wouldn't be too bad for you.
Yeah, I don't like waiting.
I mean, the good news about this is you think football season starts next week, so I want to get this down.
No, it starts July 17th in my mind when Big Brother airs.
The Styles boys were on with the morning juice.
Big town.
So that's fantastic. And when you think about what's going to happen here with Sonny Styles and that competition with CJ Hicks and all, there's some good stuff brewing at linebacker. And set this up for me, Bodes. Sonny talked about now gaining weight, going from safety to play LB.
I just try to get like 4 meals a day, try to fit some snacks in. I'm trying to do better with like not just eating junk food. Because you feel better when you eat better. So I've been trying to do that. But yeah, I'm not really trying to like force any weight on. I'm just eating gradually because my body, like I just gain weight gradually when I eat right. So that's all I've been doing really.
He's working out a ton. His metabolism is on fire. And so he can probably get away with eating mostly what he wants. But he said, I want to feel better. Maybe I could contest that a little bit. Comfort food does make you feel better, but maybe later on. But you're a guy that likes to graze throughout the day. Are you a
I'm a nibbler. Yeah. I'm a nibbler, and then I'm like, when I get out of here, if I don't get my workout done, I'll go work out, and then I'll do like a late or an early dinner, and then I'll do like a late dinner, and that'll be all I eat. One of my best friends played at BG, and I watched him go through the gaining weight process, and he hated it because he was like, you have to be at the facility at 6 a.m. and they're stuffing like waffles down your throat. Like it could sound fun to some people.
Sit down.
But if you don't have the appetite, it's just not a fun thing. But for Sonny, man, like he's a guy I can't wait to see, especially with this position change, right? Going from safety to LB. You tease the talent that he's got, big time recruit coming out of Pickerington, and now I think he can put it all together and be a minister on the second level, especially what he's going to gain from our guy James Laurinaitis and the experience he'll infuse through him. So I'm looking for Sonny Styles to be a key contributor on defense this year.
Got to get him on the field. I think he's certainly in the rotation. Everybody knows how good he is. It's learning the position and being better than the guys that have experience already at the position. So we'll find out what happens there with him. Lorenzo was also in studio, and he talked about his transition from Notre Dame to Ohio State.
There was definitely an adjustment period. For 2 years, I started at receiver. Now I'm here at Ohio State playing corner. So I had to really just figure out, like, okay, I'm playing corner now and make it's a difference being on the defense side of the ball. I have Coach Walt, who's helped me out a lot. I got my teammates, but the standard's really high here. So every single day I'm competing at that standard. And this year I'm excited to go put a little bit more on the field, as I had a red shirt last year just to develop a little bit. So this year I'm excited. Me and Sonny make some plays together.
Get him back there, returning some kicks.
Maybe he could just shut people down on the outside, but maybe he can do that too, AR. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just cool, right? Yeah, two brothers in here today chopping it up about all things Ohio State football. But the last part I think is what they're really shooting for, is to be out there together on the same defense, flying around and knocking heads off. Hope it happens. It'd be cool to see.
That's today's Buckeye Bulletin. Sports Center update, top of the hour. ESPN did a little unloading of their vault when it comes to NFL analytics, and they unveiled their season projections, and they predicted teams based on their own football power index. Where do the Browns and Bengals stack up? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
How can you reach your weight loss goals by the 4th? Simple. Make a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Bacon's on the table. Burgers, lobsters, you name it. Don't sacrifice the summer avoiding what you love. Make a Bacon 180 at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Are you feeling unsure about your current heating and cooling system? With Custom Air's Comfort Consultants, you can get a thorough assessment of your current HVAC equipment and explore future options for replacements, ensuring you make the right choice for your home sweet home. Take control of your comfort and peace of mind today. Go to customairco.com or call us at 614-552-HVAC to schedule your complimentary consultation with one of our experts. Custom Solutions, Custom Comfort, Custom Air.
Open your door to a beautiful Nature Stone basement floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. Save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Andrews. NBA Western Conference Game 5 tonight. Dallas and Minnesota. Dallas leads that series 3-1. They look to close it out this evening. We'll have coverage at 8 after the Buckeye Show here on The Fan. Major League Baseball teams in the Buckeye State both off today. Reds are off before opening up a series tomorrow at home against the Chicago Cubs. The Guardians off today as well before they start a series tomorrow against the Nationals in Cleveland. Both teams coming off series defeats in their last series ending yesterday. Columbus Clippers are home tonight. Actually, it's a doubleheader at 5:05. They'll play 2 with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs at Huntington Ballpark. This update is sponsored by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone. Breaking sports news when it happens here on The Fan.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour of the program. It's a Gold Jacket Thursday, so we'll be joined by a Hall of Famer from Canton. Today it's going to be Jimbo Covert, the great left tackle, Hall of Famer for the Bears, who helped pave the way and block for Walter Payton. And they led the league in rushing for a handful of years in a row, and everything turned around in the early 80s when he got there in 83, and then obviously they won the Super Bowl 2 years later in 85 with Ditka and the boys in the Super Bowl Shuffle. So we'll have Jimbo on at 2:33 today. He came out of a small town in Pennsylvania, probably dreamed of playing for the Steelers. Steelers, I think, were drafting somewhere in the 20s that year, and the Bears obviously got Covert at 6, so he wasn't going to be waiting around long to hear his name called, and we'll have him on at 2:33 today. Ice, we have, I saw this on Twitter just in the break, and
sorry, I'm laughing because when you said ice, it just went back to the Tress clip.
Okay, we have that somewhere in the system, do we not? I think we have that. So, and by the way,
man.
we're going to make plans to be out and support Gigi's. I love all the shelters here in town, the animal shelters, but Gigi's worked very closely with those people, and George and Tina Skestos have done an amazing job in creating that place and what they do for animals and help relieve stress on other rural shelters here in Ohio that don't have the space, and then they try to rehab animals also to make them more adoptable. And their behaviorist, Megan Herron, who came from Ohio State, is a rock star. And so they've done a great job, and they have their outing for their shelter coming up, I believe, on the 21st.
Yeah, man,
and so we'll do the show
weeks.
there. The reason I bring that up is because you mentioned it, and when you were off last year, Thidoff filled in, and, Tress was going to be there. So that's why I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Loved covering Jim Tressel. And so we get there and we talk. Do you have the clip, Bodie? It's okay if you don't. I can paraphrase.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
It's okay if you don't. And so he's So we talk before the show, the three of us, we're going to talk, and we start the show, and he hears, obviously, the open, or I say Rothman and Ice, and I even said, Jeff Fiutak filling in for Matty Ice today, and I look at Coach, and I say, good to see you, welcome. He's like, Anthony, good to see you. And he looks over and goes, Ice? And by the way,
got it.
All right, let's hear it.
We got to hear this.
All right.
My man, Jim Tressler. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you.
Ice, good to see you.
Yeah. All right, so
and you started laughing. I didn't want to correct you. Start laughing. The deal. I didn't want to be the guy. Now, I could have done it in a break after the first break because he stayed with us for a couple segments. It wasn't a one and done. But I think it was so funny that we just had to leave it there.
I guess I never really remembered you laughing. Bodie, play it again, because AR, you get a little healthy laugh into it right there. Go ahead.
My man, Jim Tressler. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you.
Ice, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so where do we start?
Where do we start? Maybe with this guy's first name is not Ice.
And Tress is, look, he's a legend, so you don't correct him. Tress, you call anybody what you want. You know what I'm saying? You're Jim Tress, so you are the king of the Twitter.
Like, hey, you go with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not correcting him there, but I'm excited to get out there this year. I have one request.
Find you a dog to adopt?
I was going to say, can we get like a little dog just around my feet to hang out during the show for 3 hours? We'll be warm. Inside. We'll be air conditioned.
It'll be fine, yeah.
They can hang out with us during the show. Can your people at Gigi's make that happen?
We will work on that.
Be fun.
Well, the funny part was that later on in the conversation, Fiutak was asking him about the speech, that he gave. Yeah. And he said to him, that speech you gave at St. John Arena was amazing. And I'm looking at him like my eyes are like
wrong
saying,
venue.
no, it was at the shot.
Wrong venue.
And then Tress looks at Ice. You're going to get the blame for this because he thinks that he thinks you are him.
Thanks, Tito.
Which is kind of cool, though, because now you have a kind of a body double that I'm just saying, you're right, but I'm saying you could blame a lot now. No, that was him.
Yeah.
And so he looks at him and goes, how old do you think I am? That was not at St. John Arena. Now, at that point, Fiutak could have said, yeah, and my name's not Ice either. He could have.
If we see Tress there again this year, he's going to say, man, Ice, you really
going to be Arch.
Been really working on your tan this year, huh?
Maddie's looking nice and savage.
And tan, looking like A-Rod at these Minnesota Timberwolves games.
Savage.
By the way, A-Rod's tan, like watch him at the game tonight. He'll be on the baseline somewhere. He looks ridiculous with the spray tan. Like A-Rod. Come on, big dog. We know you're from Miami, but a little heavy on
You think he's a heavy on the bronzer?
It's bad. I'm telling you, watch him tonight at the game. It's tough.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but you're saying
I think it's excessive.
Fake?
Oh, yeah. It looks like a fake tan to me. Could be wrong, but it looks like he's, spraying up and down like I used to spray Axe in junior high.
Axe Bro Spra?
Which is crazy.
Did he, is he married again? Or is he still with that same girlfriend?
That I don't know. Yeah. That's a good question.
I see him with I feel like he's a couple now.
Put a ring on it?
Not yet. I just feel like he's coupling at this point.
Up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the reason, I don't know where I was going with this, but I saw on Twitter that Northwestern is sending around images of a temporary lakeside football stadium, which will host games this year and next year while they're getting the new one going.
Sounds cool.
To season ticket holders are getting this image. The image is showing these concepts behind the facility, which is being designed and built. But as I'm looking at this computerized image, which is right on the lake, there are no stands on either side. The lake is on one side, and then I assume like the soccer field or cross or whatever is on the other side, and there's only room for fans in the end zone. And I was asking Bodie, does this mean that Ohio State would not be going to Wrigley? And I don't think that's the case. This has to be very preliminary stuff, because why wouldn't the Wrigley's set? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sure the check's been cashed for that. I'm sure there's a lot of, investing.
I mean, it's a wild look. It's right on the lake.
They don't need that many seats anyway. Nobody's really coming to watch Northwestern football. Let's be real here.
So Adam
What
Rittenberg.
about the road fans?
Adam Rittenberg of ESPN has this one. They will host their first 5 opponents at that facility. Miami of Ohio, Duke, Eastern Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. And then they'll play their final 2 home games, which is the Buckeyes and Illinois at Wrigley Field. I don't know why. I assume maybe Wrigley's it's obviously bigger than this. And So I assume maybe that's part of the reason is to get, although Wisconsin would probably travel, right? And put some decent fans in there. So I don't know why 5 games are and 2 games aren't. But.
Okay. Well, then you just answered the question. Then they're not going to, which, by the way, would be awesome to go see a game in some makeshift high school stadium right on the lake.
You know what? You could probably talk me into that because I'm not a huge fan of the football games at baseball venues either. Not a big fan of that.
Yeah, check out the picture when you get a chance.
Yeah,
it's a computer deal, so it's maybe not real, but it's somewhat. They're sending it to their season ticket holders. All right, we get back to the football power index of the NFL. So you guys saw the story on ESPN. Are you guys a little bit surprised that the 49ers are the favorite? They didn't win the Super Bowl. They got close. It's not like Kansas City all of a sudden imploded somehow. No. And I know there has to be a favorite, but with all their analytics, they put out that the 49ers were clearly the best when it came to the analytics of all that EPA per play, their efficiency. They were solidly ahead of the Bills and Cowboys. They have a top 10 defense, and they've got the 49ers as the best team in football in their football power index, even without winning last year.
I'm not surprised because they've been a sexy team on paper the last couple of years, and over at Bet365, they agree with this FPI ranking system because they're tied for the best odds to win the Super Bowl next year with the Chiefs at plus 550. So they're just one of those teams that, like, the pressure that is on their backs to finally win it all is so sky high because of the roster that they've constructed. And you've got these guys that have been in their prime or that are in their prime still, and you just keep running into the Chiefs and you can't overcome that. So it's not a surprising thing to me at all. They're absolutely loaded.
They got to protect Purdy a little better than they have. You know, I looked up some pressure stats, and they struggled to protect him. He was being pressured on 50% of the dropbacks in the Super Bowl. So, and
Chris Jones effect.
And their pass blocking grade, you know where it ranked in the NFL? 24th. So they got to improve that. I understand what you're saying as far as them being loaded everywhere else, and they're certainly a real team. And I think the Chiefs, I just don't know why you wouldn't make them the favorite. Unless you feel like the AFC is that much stronger. But this isn't about Vegas.
They're splitting hairs, too. Looking at the FPI rankings, like the grade for the Niners is 5.1. The Chiefs is 5.0.
Yeah. Right. Somebody had to be there.
Yeah,
I just figured if it was somebody, it would be the team that won it all.
That's gone back to back.
It doesn't look that weak outside of Rashee Rice and his future, but they did draft Xavier Worthy. We'll see. They have your Ravens at 3rd. I don't think there's any real argument there. They have the Lions at 4. And then this is where it gets interesting. Mm-hmm. They have the Bills, then the Cowboys, then the Bengals, then the Eagles.
Bills are too high.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Bills are too high. It's just, you talk about a lot of proving to do.
Would you flip the Bills and the Eagles?
No question. I'd even put the Jets above the Bills. The Jets and the Rams are too low on this thing for me.
Assuming the Jets' offensive line is fixed.
Correct. If that is fixed, I could see them getting to the Super Bowl. I really could.
You like your team at 3?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or a hair high.
Question marks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're usually right there in the mix. So it could be a hair high for sure, but they're usually right there.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
There's a team that's incredibly missing from that.
Who?
Houston. Where are they?
They're at 9. They got them in the top 10.
At 9?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
where would you have them?
7? Somewhere in that area?
So you're pushing the boys and the Bills down, I'm assuming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bodie the boys.
It's not huge.
I don't love the vibes around them boys right now.
I haven't loved those vibes for 27 years.
I don't love the vibes right now.
We are calling this year, though. You know, normally it's Super Bowl or bust. In Dallas, we're going to just call it Super Bowl or Belichick. Yeah. And Brady, too.
He's on
if he
his
wants
way.
to come out of the booth.
Bill is on his way. Mike's going to have to be hoisting up that Lombardi for him to be the coach in 2025.
Could have done it this time around.
Should have.
They could have done it.
Jordan Love said, you know what? We're coming to Dallas to whoop your tail.
After the way you guys lost, wasn't necessarily that you lost, although that was half of it. It was the way you lost. I don't know how he survived. I don't.
I don't either.
It's so odd to me.
Especially, real quick, sorry, especially when Bill and Vrabel were available. Harbaugh. It's I'm with the AR.
Jerry's a loyal man.
Crazy.
What about the Bengals? Where are they?
The Bengals are slotted at 7. Huday's in a good spot.
That's it. By the way, I have no problem with that. I don't think they've been disrespected. They got Burrow back, expected to be healthy. We'll see if he stays that way. You and I have talked about that we still want to wait and see if they have a running game they can lean on if they need to lean on one. That X factor is certainly Moss and the guys we mentioned yesterday. I think they're fine. Their win total is still 10.5, so they're a quality team. Where do they have the Brownies?
14.
Brownies at 14.
It was appropriate to me.
Yeah, I mean,
It
they
feels
need
appropriate.
a little more. They got a little more depth at wide receiver, which should help them. If Judy turns out to be anybody, and we all know we're all just waiting on Deshaun to see if he's the old Deshaun.
That's why it feels appropriate. Because if he was, not even in the superstar category right now, the Browns would be, to me, a no doubt top 10 team in the league. So them in the top 15, sitting there at 14, that feels appropriate. He just hasn't proven anything to anybody right now that you should really back him.
You can't right now. They got the defense to give him some short fields, a lot of at-bats. He got an extra receiver who's looking for redemption. Now, the other part is, will Nick Chubb be ready? And if he is ready, will he be anything close to what he was? It's a massive question mark. We talked about it. We wouldn't have any big fear, if they said, hey, we got to move on, but we know how emotional that is for them right now.
I got a surprise team, too. I'll tell you in pre-snap reads that I think is way low right now. That's going to wake some people up.
We'll do that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you're starting your day any other way, you're doing it wrong. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
Every shot, every goal, ESPN Bet has fans covered for the biggest moments on the road to the championship. The exclusive sportsbook of ESPN is the only place to find special offers and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities throughout the playoffs. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hot under the collar? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix that fast. 1-800-COOLING.
This is Bob Capace of Worthington Jewelers. We've been creating one-of-a-kind designs for almost 20 years. Our jewelry consultants will help you create your one-of-a-kind design or select from over 1,000 engagement ring options. Shop local and come see us at Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
The Buckeye Show.
I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. I mean, I'm sure he's in bed. I tell you what, Ryan, you better not be saying those things about me. I will get you.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing and Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. We do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Low Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Low Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Low Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glow Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking a few fair weather clouds out there today. Otherwise, wall-to-wall sunshine. The high temperature today is up around 70. Tonight, though, it'll be chilly. Lows around 47. If you are out late tonight, you might want a light sweater or jacket. Tomorrow, look for sunny skies with a high around 75. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Rubshod on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, Bet365 time, Maddie.
Because at Bet365, let me tell you what we don't do. We don't do ordinary, and you can see for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5.
I think I'm going to stay away from Game 5. I think it's just a little tough for me right now. I saw our boy Eric Moody, ESPN, throw out a over on Luka assists plus rebounds. He had over 17.5. And then he had Anthony Edwards over 42.5 with points, rebounds, and assists. I'm going to stay with baseball fantasy-wise because they have Jack Flaherty going for the Tigers against Boston. They K a lot. He's had 9, 9, 7, 6, 14 in his last 5. His over-under is a fairly robust 6.5, but I will take the over on Jack Flaherty Ks.
I'm looking at Game 5. I'm going out to Minnesota, and I'm looking at the former Buckeye. Give me Mike Conley and his over for threes made tonight. 2.5's the number. The juice on that is plus 130. So I'm rolling with the smooth shooting lefty with his veteran presence because I think Minnesota is going to force a Game 6. And I'm hoping so because I don't really want to wait that long for the finals. I'll take a Game 7. Get it to Monday if you can. But give me Mike Conley and his over for threes at 2.5. The juice on that's plus 130. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app. Today, 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
I'm going to guess.
Yeah. Oh, the team that I think is a little too
low. A
little too low on the list. Shorty got low.
I'm going to guess.
Yep.
It's down to 2 teams for me.
Ooh.
It's down to, and I think they're maybe slightly low. Mm-hmm. But I'm either going to put it at the Rams.
Well, I said them already.
Oh,
I did say them already. You know I really like the Rams. So you nailed that one.
Well, I didn't really nail it if you said it already.
Well, you probably weren't listening.
I shouldn't get credit for not listening. I was honest. I didn't really hear you talk about them, but you already said the Jets were too low.
Jets
so you already said that.
Mm-hmm.
But you say there's another team.
I don't think you're going to guess this one because I think I'm going to be on an island here, but that's okay.
Bodie, can we work on this together?
Oh, phoning a friend?
Yes, I think we can get this. It's either. I don't think he's been a big. Where's Miami in their list?
Miami AR is at 11. I'm cool with that.
Okay, so he's already let us off the hook there. I felt like Houston was a little low. I think we've already gone through the top. You didn't say anything.
How about this? I'll help you out even more.
No, don't help us.
Okay.
Don't help us.
All right.
You already gave us too many hints.
I'd be an easy teacher. I'd be a pushover.
It's either going to be. I'm down to now Atlanta. I'm possibly down to Green Bay. Where do they have Green Bay?
10.
Okay, so you're not going to be on that.
Hair high for me.
He's kind of had this semi for Seattle, but I don't think it's them. I can't see him going Tampa. Where do they have Tampa?
22.
Where do they have Jacksonville?
They've got Duval at 16.
Okay. So I think I'm zeroing in on Tampa. What do you say, Bodie?
All right, I'll go at number 19. Caleb Williams coming in. They're back.
Oh.
Bring him back.
Yeah, that's
the Bears. They brought in Keenan Allen. They were pretty solid last year. I think they won 7 games last year. And if Caleb is a pretty good starting quarterback as a rookie,
I think you got it.
Bodie Wills, I'm here to tell you something.
I'm a genius.
If CB were here, he would fire up the Family Feud X right now.
Oh, so it's not them.
And this is why I knew I was going to get you with this. When you mentioned the Jacksonville Jaguars, you were in the right division, just the wrong team. The Tennessee Titans at 27 is too low. They're going to be my surprise team of the year because I love what they've done this offseason. You bring in Brian Callahan from Cincinnati. He's now your head coach and play caller. He brings in his daddy. Old Bill comes from Cleveland as maybe the best offensive line coach in the sport. And you pair all that up with Calvin Ridley.
A lot of weapons.
L'Jarius Sneed, one of the best corners. You get him from Kansas City. They have Jeffrey Simmons, one of the best defensive linemen there. This is a big bet on Will Levis. So I'm going in the dark on that. But their all season, I'm absolutely in love with. And I think if we circle back around to this RPI or FPI ranking next year, I think they have a chance to be in the top 15. So that's all I'm saying about Tennessee. I think them at 27 right now, they're going to be the surprise team of the 2024 season.
I could see that they will surprise some people. I can't get behind their defense right now. Outside of Simmons, I don't know who they really have.
They just got one of the best corners in the game. L'Jarius Sneed got him from Kansas City.
Will Levis has been making some news too.
Good or bad news? Okay, that's the good or bad news. That's what I'm saying. This is not me saying they're going to win the South.
How many wins?
This is not me saying they're going to win the South or anything like that. I just think a big improvement is coming to that team this year because of the coaching staff that they've put together and the players that they've brought in. Tony Pollard on offense. I like that. D-Hop outside. Tyler Boyd there. Tajay Spears. I'm in. It's just, what is Will Levis going to cook? Hopefully it's not coffee and mayonnaise.
How many wins?
I don't have their schedule in front of me.
They won 6 last year.
I could see them messing around and get 8 or 9.
So 2 more wins?
I could see that. There's something there for me with Tennessee. Anybody else?
I'm in the 7 to 8 range. I still think below 500.
Anybody else too low on that real quick for you on the old rankings?
Too low.
Got your Vikes at 25.
They're going to be competitive.
Okay.
I think the Commanders might be a hair low at 28.
I like them too.
A hair low.
I'm with you.
All right, we'll come back. Gold Jacket Thursdays with Jimbo Covert from Canton, Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
Wilson, what's with the magic wand?
I'm trying to make our screens do that vanishing thingy yours do.
You mean the disappearing roll screens? Where the screen is there if you want it, or retracts and disappears if you don't?
Yeah, now, is that done with real magic?
No, it's not.
So I should probably take back the wizard's robe.
Yeah, I would. Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to SchottensteinRoofing.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and Devere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We always come through for you when you need us to. That's ECO's promise to you. And for AC repair and installation, that means today, not tomorrow. If you have an air-conditioned breakdown, we'll get a tech out to your home today. Or we'll give you a year's EcoFi Advantage membership for free. And make no mistake, we're a repair, not replace company. Our techs are trained to give you all your repair options. Sometimes, though, it just makes more financial sense to replace. And that's where we really come through for you when you need us to. Because we'll replace your AC system same day. No sleeping overnight in a hot, humid house. Or we'll take $1,500 off the cost of your new system and provide you with portable AC units for your bedroom. That's what coming through for you when you need us to means. So if you need AC repair, call ECO for same-day service. We'll get your home cool again. We'll make it happen today.
At geteco.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back into Rothman and Ice. It is a Gold Jacket Thursday, and this man was the 6th overall pick in '83 to the Bears. The same year, one of my favorite movies, All the Right Moves, was made, Maddie, about Pennsylvania high school football. So he's the right guy to have on. He's a Pitt man, and he helped the Monsters of the Midway win Super Bowl 20, basically demolishing everybody in their wake in the postseason. He's Hall of Fame tackle Jimbo Covert. Jimbo, welcome.
Good morning, guys. Great to be with you.
Boy, it's great to have you on the air. Let's go back in time a little bit since I did that already. So coming out of high school, I can only imagine that Joe Paterno was after you. I would have to think even Woody Hayes from Ohio State was interested, even though he was very late in his career at Ohio State. Was that true? Yeah. Were you recruited to get you out of at least Pennsylvania by Woody Hayes or not?
Oh, yeah, I got recruited by Ohio State pretty heavily. The assistant coach, I believe, at the time was a guy named Gary Tranquil, and he was over my high school quite often. But getting recruited by Penn State, Pitt, and by a lot of different places. And, Pitt just won the national championship in 1976. My senior year in high school was 1977. So it was kind of hard to leave Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania, and plus it was only about an hour from my house, and I wanted my mom and dad to come and see me play. So for me, it was just a kind of a no-brainer decision.
Jimbo, I want to stay with your collegiate career, and I want to ask you about your offensive line coach in Joe Moore, because if you're a college football fan now, you're aware of the Joe Moore Award that goes to the best offensive line in the country. Talk about him and why he was such a good offensive line coach and maybe helped you go into the NFL with some good tools.
I mean, I think he's the best offensive line coach that ever lived, Joe Moore. I mean, he put like 50 guys in the NFL, and over his time frame from Pitt to Temple to Notre Dame. Joe was a unique guy. I mean, he put a lot of pressure on you to play well. He was a great technician. He learned off Dan Radakovich, who was the Steelers line coach for many, many years, and then the Rams coach. And so he stressed technique, but he knew how to motivate you too. And sometimes you hated him, but in the end you loved him. And I really enjoyed playing for him. And that's the reason why. I mean, he's the sole reason why I had the ability to play where I did and be in the College Football Hall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame because of Joe Moore. And I really believe that. He was such a great man. I miss him. And, we got his legacy still going with the Joe Moore Award. And then actually this weekend I'm working a high school football camp in western Pennsylvania. It's called the Joe Moore Line Camp. And I'll get to see Russ Grimm and Emil Boers and Jackie Sherrill and a bunch of guys that I was associated with at Pitt.
Yeah, he's a Pitt man. He's Jimbo Covert, part of the residency program, the incredible program up in Canton. So he'll be in Canton this weekend. We'll give you that in a few minutes. All-decade team with the Bears in the 80s, all-pro a couple times, and all those games in the 8 wonderful seasons in Chicago that culminated with a Super Bowl. But I do, as long as Maddie asked you about Joe Moore, I do want to ask you, because I read that you did start as a D lineman at Pitt, right? And I would ask you why the change, and how blessed do you feel that you did change to O-line?
Well, I really did start as a defensive lineman, and I really loved playing defense. I wanted to stay there, and I did play a lot my freshman year, but it was kind of a crowded position. You had I was a freshman. You had a bunch of sophomores there, and it's kind of interesting. My defensive line coach, our defensive coordinator, when I was a freshman at Pitt, was Jimmy Johnson. And so, people don't really realize that he was a defensive coordinator for us when I was a freshman. But when he left to go to Oklahoma State, I was kind of looking at where I wanted to play, and I just wanted to play. And so Joe Moore came to me and said, "Hey, why don't you give offensive line a try? You played in high school, and we'd really love to have you." And they had a vacancy there where a guy got drafted, a guy named Bob Gruber, and I went over, and the rest is history. So, I mean, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. At first, I fought it. I didn't want to, but it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me.
How much of your defensive line history played into your success of being an offensive lineman?
Turning route to 17.
Oh, no, I think it's, for me, it's just being aggressive. And I think, sorry about the little thing we got going on there. But,
you got to know your way.
But it's being aggressive, coming off the ball, being aggressive, and carrying that same mentality to the offensive side of the ball, which is what I tried to do. And I think that really helped me a lot. I think I played offensive line with a defensive line mentality of being aggressive, and I think that was one of my attributes that really helped me.
Jimbo Covert, the great Hall of Famer from Chicago and the Bears, blocking for Walter Payton, and even the Fridge, William Perry. Your relationship with Mike Ditka, who I think got there, you remind me if I'm wrong here, a year before and went 3-6, taking over. What was his message to you guys in '83?
Well, you know what? I said this many, many times, that when I came in 1983, it was one of our first meetings with the Bears, and he came in, he goes, guys, I got good news and bad news. He said, good news is we're going to the Super Bowl. Bad news is half you guys won't be there when we do. And he really meant that because he just felt like you had a lot of guys kind of hanging around. You guys had guys there that just weren't willing to pay the price and make the sacrifices. And I know that sounds corny today maybe a little bit, but he just realized that you had to go the extra mile to be successful. And, he was a All-Pro player, a Hall of Fame player, and and coached for the Dallas Cowboys when they won 2 Super Bowls. So he knew what it would take to win, and we didn't have that. And he got it right away and made sure he set the expectations. And 2 years later, we were in the Super Bowl. So I think he set bold goals and tried to achieve them.
Take us inside why Walter Payton was so great. Obviously, you were a big part of his success, too, carving out lanes for him. But just being around him on the daily, what made him such a great running back?
He was first of all, he's an exceptional person. And, he just had this kind of innate ability to how he treated people. He was a wonderful person that treated everybody the same, whether you were a first-round pick or you were a free agent. He could talk to you like you were the only person in the world that he was talking to at the time, most important person in the world. And the reason I say that is because I think just his what he was about as a person made him the player that he was, how conscientious he was, what a pro he was, how he did things. And, when I get in, I look at someone like him and said, hey, this is how hard you have to work. Or this is what the things you have to do, the little things. And that's what made him special.
He's very special. He's the Hall of Famer, Jimbo Covert, out of Pennsylvania, 8 seasons with the Bears, first round over 6th overall by the Bears in '83. Am I wrong to think you were missing from the Super Bowl shuffle? I don't think you were you in it? The video?
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't do that. I knew that was going to live forever. and when I saw guys like Steve Fuller dance,
that's right.
There's no way I'm doing that.
It was kind of bold and cocky at the time, right?
The interesting story about that is they filmed that when the day after we lost to Miami, which was our only loss of the year. They came in there and did it, like Willie Gull kind of organized the whole thing, and it was for charity. But that's why you see, when you go back and look at it, that's why Walter and Jimmy Mack weren't there, because they spliced them in later. But, it was kind of interesting, and it became something I thought we shouldn't be doing, because we don't want to write a check that we can't cash. But you know what? At the end of the day, it became fun, and people really enjoyed it, and that's what made it special.
Yeah, Jimbo. So all the stories about Dick and McMahon fighting, arguing all the time, how bad were they?
You know what? It wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was. I didn't think. I just know that they're very similar personality. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what made them kind of the conflict that they had. But, at the end of the day, they both wanted to win. Yeah. And, Mac would send him, or Coach would send him plays, and then Mac would change them. And then, there would be tension there. But most of the things he did and changed were successful. And most of them went for big gains or touchdowns. So, yeah, I think they both wanted to win. They just had a little bit different way of trying to do it.
You'll be able to meet Jimbo Covert at the Hall of Fame. He'll be greeting you tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 9:30 in the lobby. Saturday, he'll be there in the theater, 10 to 10:30. You can get autographs from 10:30 to 11:30. Meet a real Hall of Famer. This guy did it all in the trenches. In the 80s, the Cubs were good, decent. Sox were good in 83. Bulls draft Jordan in 84. But you guys win the first and only Super Bowl in Chicago history. How top of the world stuff did that feel in the 80s to you in Chi-Town?
No, I think it was. And I think, at the end of the day, Michael, greatest basketball player that ever lived, in my opinion. But and they won how many championships, but it's still a Bears town. And it always will be. And I think that, that team is revered because of that. And, they won in 63, the World Championship, and we're the only Super Bowl winners. And, I would really like this team to get back to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, because I think people are tired of hearing about the 85 Bears and, that being the only Super Bowl that the Bears have won in a long time. So I'd love to see them get back to it. But for us, it was pretty special with the team that we had. And that team is going to go down, I think, in history as one of the best that ever played. And I think they should be, because I think that, the record speaks for itself.
You may have dreamt of playing for the Steelers when you were a kid, but the Steel Curtain probably had nothing on that defense in 85 that you had.
Well, I I think that defense in '85 is, I think, one of the best ever. And our defense did some incredible things in how they rushed the passer, the unique scheme that they have with Buddy Ryan's 46. But I think what people tend to forget is we came from behind in the first 4 games of the year till that defense settled in, and our offense was a pretty good offense. I mean, we led the league in rushing, led the league in time possession. We were second in the league in scoring, led the league in first downs. That makes your defense pretty good when they're not on the field. So it's still a team game. We were complimentary of each other. They got a lot of turnovers. We were able to turn them into points, and they were able to pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. And that's what made that defense so special. And, that's why it's a team game. You have to have both sides of the ball.
Well said. Hall of Fame tackle out of Chicago. He's a Pitt man. He's Jimbo Covert. He'll be in Canton this weekend. Please go up and see him. If you haven't been to the Hall of Fame in a while, this is a really good reason to go do it. Jimbo, great stories, man. Love reliving that time with you. Thanks for spending time with us. Be safe.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it. Jimbo Covert, number 74, blocking for sweetness. All right, we will come back with the truth, and we do have the truth on a couple of early kick times now for Ohio State football. We'll tell you what they are next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone are idiots. You should listen to them anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio's idiot destination.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing. It's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the time of year for being outdoors. It's the best, but not if your knees, shoulders, hips, or back are hurting. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and help restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move, swim, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheencup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. They have locations in Columbus, in both Gahanna and Dublin. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So go check them out at QCKinetics/Columbus or give them a call, 380-208-4544.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube. Watch us live or on demand by searching 971 The Fan. Which fan host will awkwardly scratch their privates? Let's find out together. Find us on YouTube. The Fan.
Right now during Ram season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab, 4x4 for $479 a month for 42 months, with $4,279 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
And right now, 80% lean ground beef in 3-pound rolls is on sale for just $3.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes snacks like Fritos and Doritos, candy like M&M's and Reese's, and ice cream like ours. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, my man. Take us home. I was going to say
kickoff times. Yep.
Yeah. So Ohio State has released it. Maddie,
what we got, baby? What we got? Sparty at night.
I guess I looked into my crystal ball. I guess I looked into the crystal ball for you.
We got Sparty at night.
Well, that one I don't have. So what I do have for you is Akron will be 3:30. So the opener for Ohio State will be 3:30.
Can roll with that.
And then on a beautiful early September night.
Against who?
The Western Michigan squad will be coming into
This
Ohio.
better be 3:30. Noon.
I'm pointing up.
This is not what I want.
7:30 kick.
What are we doing?
On the BTN.
What are we doing?
We know about Ohio State versus Michigan at the end of the year on noon. That was previously announced on Fox. Now, the other things I can tell you is that Ohio State's homecoming this year will be October 26th against Nebraska.
What we got for that?
I have an or. I have a noon 3:30 or 7:30 on that.
Well, thank you.
Which the television network will still be determined. And then Ohio State at Northwestern, which is November 16th at Wrigley, will kick at either noon or 3:30. That will not be a night game at Wrigley.
Hey.
The game times and the networks for the remaining games will be subject to that 12-6 selection process, the days. So we know that they have 8 home games and 2 weeks off this year. The bye weeks are September 14th and October 19th. So that's it. You can get those mini pack tickets that they have. They've got additional single game ticket options at Ohio State. But right now, to recap, you've got Akron opener 3:30. Western Michigan night 7:30. Northwestern, well, Nebraska, I told you guys, we don't know, but that's homecoming. That was the announcement for that. And then at Wrigley, noon or 3:30, and then Michigan's Fox. That's what I have for you today.
Thank you. All good, except Western Michigan. All good. But before you know
it's going to be a balmy night. It's going to be amazing.
Great time watching them kick the crap out of Western Michigan.
Well, they would. Yes, but they would.
Thanks.
They'd probably kick the you-know-what on anybody at that point. What are they, the Broncos?
Yep.
All right. Bucking Broncos.
All right, buddy, what do you got, big dog?
All right, guys, we'll start with this one. Just a couple days left here in May, today and tomorrow, then we'll get into June. When does summer officially start in your guys' mind?
I said it earlier. To me, it's the first weekend in June. But I also do a slash on that, or Memorial Tournament. That seems to me the official start of summer, but I will put it, this Saturday is the official start, even though I've loved this kind of fall-esque weather we're having here in the 60s and 70s.
The first day for me, Bodie, is when we get into the 80s. Like when the 80s arrived, and I know in Ohio we'll go like 80 for a couple days and 50, but once we get those first few days of 80-degree weather, I'm like, summer's here. Summer is absolutely here. So in my mind, we've been in the summer for a while now because everybody can go outside. You got a T-shirt and shorts on right now, Bodie. So it's summer. Oh, right. Got your toes out. There you go. So yeah, I'm going to go when it gets to 80. That's
Wait, you're
summer.
open-toed right now?
Yep.
At work?
Yes, yep.
Learn from Mark the Shark.
Yeah.
Look,
the Shark can do
shower
it.
shoes at work.
I follow Shark. Followed him through the gates of hell.
Anymore. Wow. He mailed it in.
Follow him through the gates of hell. Interesting.
You can't handle the truth.
All right, next up, guys, I want to know this one from you. If you weren't working here as a sports radio host, of course, what do you guys think you'd be doing? Or what would you like to be doing?
I think I'd be a baseball coach.
Ooh.
I've always thought, if they fire me, and one day they will fire me.
Wow.
I think I'm going to go back to the realm of coaching baseball. Got a taste of that in my high school for a few summers, and that was a very good time. So, yeah, I think that's what I would be doing.
Well, I'll tell you what I was doing before, and that was
winning Emmys. We know.
I was teaching tennis at a country club. That was what it was. It was the greatest job ever.
Flex on.
But I think it was it. It was
the bougie life right there, Bodie.
Kids and ex-wives and all sorts of good stuff.
Keen on the ex-wives, huh? How'd that work out?
No, I think it'd probably be somewhere in the animal industry, right? I'd probably go full-time Humane Society or ASPCA. Or, as I told you the other day, house sitting for pets in some bougie area.
And eating everybody's snacks.
Carmel, California, something like that.
Yeah, that works.
That way I don't even have to have my own place. I just go from house sitting to house sitting while the wealthy people are on vacation. I think that'd be incredible.
I see you on the Golf Channel, too. I always tell you that. Like PGA Tour Radio.
That's too involved with this question, though. We'd have to be out of broadcasting. Yeah. Okay. But that's a nice thought, Maddie. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
My time has passed.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth. I thought about this question. This is a little bit of a shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. Who was the most frustrating player you guys have ever rooted for?
I have mine. I don't want to relive it, but I will for this question. So, back in the 90s, the Vikings had a kicker named Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson had a perfect season. I don't care whether they kicked on real grass, fake grass, indoors, outdoors, it didn't matter. He never missed a field goal. He hit 39 straight. He also never missed an extra point. I know those were automatic back then, but he went 67 for 67 on those. He was the first kicker in NFL history to go an entire season without missing until he did. The game against Atlanta in the 98 NFC Championship game. And I feel awful for him, for me, for all the Viking fans, but watching him walk off the field, helmet in hand, wearing number 1, and breaking my heart was the most frustrating because he had the most epic season ever.
I'm going with J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith
gets the score.
We were so involved in that Cavs window of time.
Speaking of time.
And he was...
He didn't know it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No, that's exactly where I was going to go. Yeah. That was the pinnacle of it when LeBron dropped 51 on the road in Golden State and he lost his mind. But wasn't that? A couple games, he'd go 5 for 8 from 3, and then you watch him go 0 for 8 from 3. So I'm going to go J.R. Smith.
And the truth shall set you free.
If you miss Pete Fiutak talking college football, Mark Schofield, all things NFL, or the Hall of Famer, Jimbo Covert, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be waiting for you.
We toss some chin music with J. Lou tomorrow on a Friday. We'll do overs and unders and pressure and Conman and T-Bone up next. Timmy Hall will be in. I'm sure the boys will keep you entertained through the afternoon. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye. This is a Fan Action Update.
This Action Update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Game 5 tonight of the NBA Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves looking to stay alive at home. Minnesota's a 4.5-point favorite. Winner of this series will get Boston. And since 1990, 14 teams have been favored to win it all, entering the regular season and playoffs. And 11 of the 14 ended up winning it all. For your Tipico Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
If you're about to get engaged or ready to walk down the aisle, your true love deserves a true jeweler, the Diamond Seller. As a true jeweler, we not only have designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. Visit the Diamond Seller today.
Eliminate carbon and varnish deposits with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up. A clean fuel system can increase performance and fuel economy. Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for just $9 and get 2 times O Rewards points. In-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You probably heard me talk about Dr. Mark Levy's custom-fit oral appliances to help treat sleep apnea and how they are so much better than using those bulky, uncomfortable CPAP machines. Well, I've been talking about it for years, and the FDA just recently announced a recall of over 18 million CPAP masks. Yikes! These CPAP masks, the ones with magnetic headgear clips, can potentially interfere with certain medical devices. Pacemakers, implantable defibrillators, neurostimulators, aneurysm clips. And if that happens, that can cause injuries not only to yourself if you use these masks, but also your partner as well. Sleep apnea is no joke, and as I've been saying, it affects everyone in the home. So if you've been diagnosed with sleep apnea and you can't tolerate your CPAP machine anymore, or, just flat out worried it could possibly do harm to you, that sort of thing, call Dr. Mark Levy today for your custom oral appliance at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's right. Dr. Mark Levy, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Open your door to a gorgeous Nature's Stone garage floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature's Stone. This month only, save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's